Hello and welcome to the Pro Crastinators podcast. I'm Ben Saint, introing for the first time, and it's such a rush, it's such an adrenaline rush. I can't believe it, I made it, Dad. I'm here, and I'm queer, and get used to it, and I'm here with Digi Bro, is also here.
Oh man, I just moved my beer and it made my mic fall over and I didn't realize it was resting on my beer.
Oh yeah, and I'm here with Nate, best guy ever, bestman.
Oh man, I just moved my tea and it slightly jostled my microphone arm. what a conundrum this is.
Whoa boy, and there's also the Davoo here, the Davoo from Saturn goes to Saturn.
www.thedavoo.com.
And whoa, we got fucking Hypocrite here. He's a fucking hippo boy. He's on the show.
It's an honor to finally be on the show.
Yeah, all right, we're here, and we're talking about. Hey, let's talk about how we all just went to the fucking movies together, like a bunch of cool. Oh wait. Nobody else is here. Nobody else is here.
Did you go with you?
I'm here. I was there.
Oh, yeah. It's only Digi. Okay.
Well, yeah.
I can speak for Tom because I know the entire experience he had as I drove him as he now lives with me.
Let me quickly look up the Urban Dictionary definition of going to the movies with friends.
Yeah, sure.
Urban Dictionary of going, Urban Dictionary of to, and Urban Dictionary of the. And
just
then,
add a plus between those, and you got it.
And I've just returned back from the harrowing adventure of riding the fucking bus. What a shit show.
Tell us of your bus woes.
Ben, I didn't even think you lived that far out of the center of Boston that it would take an hour and a half, almost 2 hours.
And I should have probably just gone with my normal route, but I decided to look up the fastest route on my phone, which had me jump 3 different buses, which would have gotten me home fast, because I wouldn't have had to, wait hardly at all. Only one of those buses ran late and missed its connection, so I ended up having to wait around. Normally to get into the city, I just have to take the Red Line and then a quick bus ride to Harvard or Davis Square, which is pretty convenient. But I didn't do that this time.
How long would that normally take, though?
If I time it so I leave at exactly when I need to be so that I'm not waiting for the bus, half an hour, 40 minutes tops.
Public transportation, ladies and gentlemen.
What
the hell are you gonna do?
I love public transportation. I am so overjoyed. Every day of my life, I look up at the stars and I say, "Thank you, God, that you didn't curse me. That you didn't curse me with the modern leprosy that is automobile ownership."
Ben, do you remember when we were young and we missed the bus? There's no public transportation. What we would have to do to get to school,
the middle of nowhere.
We would have to call a taxi service to dispatch a taxi to us. I mean, our dad did it so that we'd learn a lesson. Yeah. He could have driven us, but he wanted us to learn.
Our parents made us do it mostly out of spite.
Well, it was not spite. It was just so we learned, damn it, and I learned, damn it.
Tomato. I remember one time I missed the bus, and I had missed
too.
Yeah, and this was the worst. But also, it was a little heartwarming at the end. Oh shit! Spoilers.
Okay.
So this was, yeah, I missed the bus, and I think Dad was I think I had missed the bus not long before, and Dad was pissed that I had missed it twice in a row. So he was like, get a fucking taxi. I was like, okay. So I called the taxi service, and I get in. And the thing is, at this point in my life, I was not driving, so I did not really know the way to the school by car. So I get in the taxi, and the guy starts driving me, and he asks me where the school is, and I tell him I'm not sure, but I try to give him directions as best I can, and I fail, and we take multiple wrong turns, and we end up driving for an hour. School is 20 minutes away?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so we drive for an hour, and the bill is $40 at the end. It's way more than it should have been. He could have just looked it up. And I don't even have $40 on me.
Yeah.
So we get to the school, and he even got mad at me at one point. He's like, "Where's this fucking school, dude?" Because I don't know why he was mad, though, because his plan was then to charge me for the whole ride, which he did. We get to the school, and he's like, okay, that'll be $40. And I'm like, well, shit, I don't have $40 on me. It wasn't supposed to be that much. And he's like, all right, listen, I'll take what you got on you right now, and then I'll come to your house when you're out of school. I'll come to your house after school and collect the rest. And I'm like, okay.
Little baby Ben's first experience with debt.
Yeah, I'll come to his house and break your legs.
This happened?
Probably like 16, 17. I'm going to say 17. Okay. So, but anyway, long story short, I get home, and it turns out that he did come to our house, but he met our parents, and apparently our parents told him to fuck off, because...
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's I did good. Not... Yeah. So in the end,
I like how that's the heartwarming ending. Parents told a guy to fuck off.
He deserved to get told to fuck off.
An honest, hardworking American got gypped out of some money.
This was before Uber, by the way. For anyone that doesn't know what a taxi is.
I was recently in other countries known as Europe, and I usually love public transportation because it's like, I know that from my house I can walk to the train station. I can go anywhere in London I want at all, or through the trains, and that's cool. But I was in like Switzerland, I think, and I had to I was going to this film festival on short notice. It was a secret project. Don't worry about it. So I was going there.
Here, folks.
Damn.
I
talk about it on my Patreon podcast at patreon.com.
Okay, subscribe.
Subscribe.
I'm behind on the pay podcast for the Hypocrite.
Me too.
Yeah.
So are we all Hippo patrons?
Not me, Nibba.
Bitch.
Anyway, I'm in Switzerland, and I'm freaking out because I'm scared of different people to me, and and I don't know the language, and they don't care about me, and it's really late, and so I'm like, okay, I need to get from Switzerland to France, because the only airport that's close by is in Switzerland. There's you got to go over the border through a coach, and I'm like, how do I do this? I didn't have enough time to research it beforehand, so I was fumbling around in Switzerland looking at the train things, and there was no people around. I had to smash on the little ticket dispensers, and it wouldn't go to the place I wanted to go. So I couldn't get the train.
Was it in English? Was it in English?
There was an English option, but it just wouldn't go to the place I wanted to go to.
Dude, this is literally like watching someone go through Valley of the Drakes with 2 flasks. Oh my god.
It was the most unprepared I'd ever been, and in this moment I was like, public transport is the worst thing of all time. It doesn't cater to me, a weirdo foreigner who had not looked up where to go and how to get there beforehand. Anyway, I ended up having to get a taxi, which was a 45-minute taxi.
To France from Switzerland?
Yeah, just across the border. It's near the Alps, little border thing there. And I get the, I think...
countries are really small over there.
Yeah.
Those are pretty decent size, but
I get the taxi, and he's like, yeah, just get in there. It was really funny having him, fail at try to, use his, Google voice recognition to input the town that I wanted. It's just funny to see that French people, Swiss people, they have funny problems just like us, just like real people.
Hard to believe.
It's funny hearing you being British and then describing going to Europe. But I guess ever since Brexit, we can and Yuri Hirasawa's opinion. I guess that basically
it's like being China. It's like being Japanese and going to the mainland.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I can only relate to things through Japanese.
The scary ending of public transport and the fact that I had to get a taxi is that it was 200 euros, and the guy turned around to me when he got there, and he's
like $10,000.
Yeah, and he's like, 200 something, and I was like, okay, here's my card, and he said, oh, I don't take card, I'm a taxi.
Ooh.
And I didn't have Europe money.
Yep.
I didn't expect to be using Europe money. I was expecting to be using a train. Yeah. I was expecting to be using my funny card to beep on like public transport. You beep your card. It works everywhere. It was very stressful.
So how'd you get out of that predicament?
I ran. He took my card and he did some weird thing, and then I got an email saying money has been taken. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, all right.
So you still had to pay 200.
I think it was he doesn't like. This is a thing in Europe that I've noticed a lot of times when I didn't have cash. They really don't like using cards because they can't, if it's cash, then, you can't, the government doesn't know that you have the money.
Oh,
also, sneaky, it's not on record, so they can do something with it. They can be sneaky taxless
Well, also
people.
because
Fair enough.
when you run a credit card, there is a charge. That's why like most small businesses will have like a $3 or $5 minimum and all that.
But like specifically in Europe, people are very, very cash only, please, all the time.
To fill your hands with coins during the smallest of exchanges.
Like that, like David Lynch cooking quinoa. Yeah, David Lynch cooks quinoa.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for that to happen in America, but only if it's like places run by foreigners.
Oh, well,
that's true.
There's a burger place. It's run by fucking Americans, but it's small and it's frustrating. It's fucking small business quirks are kind of infuriating.
Wait, you're talking about Burger King small business quirks?
No, I said Burger King.
Yeah, Hippo's memes became reality.
But Davoo, I don't even work at Burger King.
So, like,
there it is.
It's all fucking
memes. Meme count 1. Can we get an air horn? Can we get a fucking soundboard?
It's all fucking quaint and quirky that they have like fucking like dish towels hung up on the side. That they have like these weird names like the Farm Hand, which is a hamburger with ranch on it. It's all nice and quirky, and that you're in a building that's from the 50s until like you're sitting down waiting for your order, and then the lady goes, oh yeah, by the way, cash only, and it's like, goodbye. And
I don't understand how they don't just put that on the fucking door of the place.
I believe they. I mean, I know they post it somewhere, but not never prominently enough. There should be a picture of like an old family from the 1800s saying, "This must be you." And so, and like, fucking, Cole brought me over there because she was so excited about it, and she didn't even remember that fact.
Well, that's confirmation bias, because you're only remembering the times that you failed to notice it. So those times they failed to post it prominently.
We show up like a month later, this time with cash ready, and we got the food just barely in time. We got there just before closing at 5:30. It's a fucking restaurant that closes at 6.
On which day of the week was this?
I think it was
if it's a lunch place, that's probably reasonable.
It was on the week. Maybe it was Sunday, where things like close early. I don't know.
Fucking Kevin's Doghouse. As much as I love Kevin's Doghouse and I've promoted it so much online, that place had the shittest hours in the universe because they were like closed on 2 days of the week, I think, and they opened at like 11 a.m. and closed at 3 p.m. But then if they didn't have enough customers, they would just close like an entire hour early just because they're like, well, nobody's showing up. And then me and Victor would get there at like 2:30 and be like, motherfucker!
Yeah.
And it's like a 15-minute drive, so
it was
quite frustrating.
One of the least appealing... Oh, sorry, you can go.
This was really funny. It was really cathartic. No, not cathartic. It was hilarious. I don't know what the fuck it was. To be sitting there, we sat outside the store because they closed. So it's like, okay, shit, we gotta stand outside, like at the benches that are outside, eating our hamburgers. 6 o'clock happens, the store closes, and we watch like half a dozen vehicles pull into the drive-thru, and the lady who's like cleaning up like gives them the no signal, and they have to like drive away and being like, yeah, maybe don't fucking open a restaurant and then close at 6 on a weekday, you morons. Like, what?
One of the least appealing cities I've ever been to was Richmond, Virginia. And I would only be there for a little bit, like I would stop there between buses and trains and shit, and sometimes I would walk around. And
incidentally, worst place I've ever lived, Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, cool.
Home of the Confederacy, right? Right?
One of several, probably.
All right.
It's around there.
Yeah.
That's one point in its favor.
So, I mean, first of all, the whole thing is a rusted concrete nightmare. And like the downtown area, it's hideous. And second of all, I walked around for like an hour on a Saturday, and I went into like, stores that normally sold food, and like all the restaurants were closed on Saturday, like in the middle of the day on Saturday.
There's a lot of Jews around there taking the Sabbath off,
I doubt it. Frankly, I doubt it.
Okay.
But everything was closed in the middle of the day on Saturday. Like convenience stores were that normally would cook food. Their grills were off. They were not cooking because like there's just nobody around. No business on Saturdays.
No business.
Which
on
is
Saturdays.
The opposite of what you would think. Yeah, like if you'd think one day they were going to operate, it would be then.
Is it some sort of siesta going on, like across town?
I
don't know.
I asked the guy because I was like, "Hey, are you cooking food?" And they're like, "No, the grill's off." And I was like, "Why is everything closed?" And he's like, "There's just no business on Saturdays." So I was like, "Well, this city must be
strange.
in a bad way. It must be in a bad way." Must be the internet. Everyone's ordering their burgers online now.
I guess so.
Ben,
on Amazon.
I gotta ask, what was the total cost of your travel to and from the theater today?
It would have been less if I had taken the normal route. It was maybe like $7 or $8.
Okay, so next time, I think, as of you saying that just now, I am never driving into Boston again.
Did you have to pay to park? Did you have to pay to park?
I always have to pay to park.
Yeah, but that's where no.
And I never think about it. Don't do it. Like, what happens is I look up like the amount of time it will take, and I think, oh well, I have a car, so I can just drive in. It'll only be half an hour as opposed to 45 minutes to an hour. And then I never, until I get there, do I remember, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to pay for parking if this is anywhere exciting. And the way they structure the hours everywhere in Boston is fucked. Because it's basically like it'll be like 15 minutes is the lowest amount, like, and that'll be like $10. And then it'll be like 15 to 30 minutes, 30 to an hour to an hour and a half to 2 to 2.5, and then if it's after 2.5, it's just like some astronomical amount.
Who's gonna park for 15 minutes?
I know. Who's got the kind of business to be done? That
can be done at a parking lot. Yeah. At a parking lot that's built into a movie theater. So,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So we had all said that we were going to show up at the theater. The movie was at 12:55, so we were like, let's all show up at 12:30. I get there at 12:34, and it's like, if you're under 2 hours, the maximum that they charge you is $14. But as soon as you're over 2.5 hours, it's just a flat $28 for the rest of the day. Damn. Or 24 or something like that. So of course I'm like, well, we've showed up 30 minutes early, and it's a 2 hour 10-minute movie, so yeah, I had to pay. So that's why that's why the PCP is recording quite late today, because once I had cleared that 2.5 hours, I was like, well, we're in town, I'm not gonna fucking leave and spend $28 without getting some food with my friends here, so yeah, that was the logic.
This
there.
is like it's a fucking. I've never done a lot of city living myself, but you're really just paying for the convenience of like having a car and being able to drive it around the city. They're trying to discourage that. It almost seems.
It's not even. Yeah, and it's not worth it because like the part of why we got our house where we did is that it is within reach of public transit. Like we deliberately didn't like refuse to get a place that was too far away to make it into the city. It's just that like I've never used public transit in my life because this is the first time I've lived anywhere that has like even remotely reasonable public transit.
Boston's
so like,
there's
I'm not used to it.
Better than living on the red line. You live on the red line, you're all set.
We live on the red line.
Just while we're on this public transportation, like the only experiences I'd ever had with public transportation, because Ben and I grew up in like a rural area, there was nothing there. And then like when I went to college in New Jersey, there were trains and buses, but like I would only use them when like absolutely necessary, and it seemed extremely poorly optimized, and there weren't the kind of like apps that there are today that like let you track buses, locations, and times and stuff, which are a godsend for this kind of stuff, because there have been so many times I've been just fucked by buses just not showing up when I was in college. And but like when I was in Tokyo, like it was at the end of my college days, it was just a hard left turn to just the greatest train system in the world, and it was unbelievably great. And Boston is also not too shabby at all. So
Boston's amazing because it stops everywhere. Like every fucking 10 feet there's another T stop, and like the thing is that in order to get to the T from my place, it's like I would have to drive like 2 minutes to the place. And so like to me it's like, well, if I'm going to be using my car anyways, why don't I just drive into the city? And then of course I always forget like how expensive parking is, until I get there. And now that today I am cutting that off. I'm excising this cancer from my life.
All right.
Yes.
I'm definitely addicted to the autonomy that my car gives me, but I've also just got no other option.
I am too, but like I use the car constantly in town, and that's fine. Like where I live, which I do not, nobody please say, but like where I live is very dense and interconnected, and like using the car is like using the T in Boston. Like it's so easy to get around with a car here that it's like it's fucking mega convenient. But yeah, if you're going into Boston, I mean, the thing is, even if you take public transit, yeah, that takes longer, but the traffic is always so fucked that, like, even if you drive, it's going to take just as long anyways, because it's definitely going to take longer than it says it is.
The one downside is that Boston closes kind of early, and I think on most days the T stops running around, like, 1. Like, I think of the last trains are, like, 1 a.m.
Oh, well, I'm not going to probably do much that would keep me in Boston
I wish they went later, but you know what? It's alright. I mean, that just means, like, everything just closes at 1. Because I mean, that's in Japan, when the trains stop running.
As amazing as public transit is in Japan, I think at like midnight they fucking stop.
Yeah, they shut down at midnight and restart at 5 a.m. That's which is okay. But you know what? Speaking of public transit, I just wanted to say my last thought on this is that there's been some interesting developments in Slime City. Looks like some kind of
New
transit
Los Angeles
system.
City, aka Neo Milwaukee.
Yeah, some kind of transit system has become back online, and I'm really interested.
Serving all your public transportation needs. Now you can go from West Glocksbury to Assault Beach or Assault Flats Beach Resort. Lickety split. This has been a message from the New Los Angeles City Board of Tourism.
How
join my fucking Discord, assholes.
I can't wrap my little head around it. It's too much. There's too many chats, and I don't know what to do.
And
I'm supposed to be the mayor.
There are, because if you're a mod, if you have mod, then you see like all like 35 different zones. But otherwise, you just see the one you're in, and it's a little more manageable. Sorry about that.
Whoever's editing this, could you edit out that I said I'm the mayor? I'm a hypocrite. I'm not the mayor of that place. That's just a hearsay. It's just a little dream of mine, actually.
Yeah, there you go.
Not real.
Is the mayor the same thing as the Lord of Ghosts?
The Lord of Ghosts was elected mayor. Yeah, was elected in a democratic election that overturned the status quo and he threw New Los Angeles City into a dark age, the likes of which have never been seen before.
That's true. He got upgraded to the Lord Mayor of Ghosts.
Yes.
Nothing's cooler than being a Lord Mayor.
Much to all of our
except for being a Führer President King.
A Führer President King, yeah.
Ben, have you seen Full Metal Alchemist?
Yeah.
Do you remember that the guy
Führer King Bradley?
It's Führer President King Bradley, except that King is just his first name,
which is very confusing.
Wait.
I thought his title was Führer King the whole time.
No, okay, I knew his name was King. I didn't know that he was. How can you be a Führer and a president? Those things are not the same. His name is
Führer President King Bradley.
I don't remember him being president. I remember him being Führer. I remember him calling him Führer King Bradley.
Well, this is in the Japanese version of Brotherhood, at least.
Okay, well, I watched the English dub of not Brotherhood of the original animated series, and in that one they just say Führer King Bradley, and I just thought his title was Führer King, which made perfect sense.
Frankly, I think you're full of shit, Digi. I think that he's just Führer King Bradley.
Well, I fucking remember the subtitles, and I was laughing every single time I saw Führer President King Bradley.
Ben, remember that boot? Okay, way back in the day, Ben and I acquired an illicit copy before all of FMA had come out in America. I bought a DVD. It
was like translated to Chinese and then translated from Chinese to English by a non-native English speaker.
It was incredible. It was incredible.
No, you know what it is? Those are always Babelfish.
Winry, somehow the way that they transliterated Winry's name had a fucking X in it.
That's true, but that wasn't even just it. Every single episode,
Gluttony was Blatney. Gluttony was Blatney. That's how they translated it.
And Winry's name was different every episode. It was a different name. So there's like a mix of stuff going on here. It was mad.
Okay, did it have the phrase Ohio State in there randomly a whole bunch?
I don't remember.
I don't think
when you translate when you translate the English word O, like O-H, through Babelfish back and forth, it becomes Ohio State. And, like, one time I watched an illicit copy of the Death Note live-action movie, and that kept popping up, and that's how I knew it was Babelfish that they had used to translate it.
This was before I knew anything about computers and shit, but, like, I'm sure that it was what we're talking about. It had, like, there were like, online translations were done or something, because there was all kinds of, like, characters stuck in there in weird places and stuff, so...
Did you buy this DVDs from, like one of these, like... random Chinatown stores.
This one was actually straight up from eBay. This was from eBay. I remember buying it. Yeah.
Did I guys ever tell you guys about the illegal and really weirdly fucked up DVDs me and my family bought and watched when we were in Africa?
Ooh, that sounds interesting. But no, I don't think so.
Well, we drove into the city one time, the city of Kampala in Uganda, and really slow traffic, really gassy air. Went to a grocery store, and when we get back to our car, we're sort of like behind the store, and there's a guy on a motorcycle with a big like duffel bag type of thing filled with those little like paper sleeve DVDs filled with them.
And as far as I can tell, this is like 80% of what the third world is. It's just guys selling bootleg DVDs behind stores.
Yes. Go on.
And it was a similar. The collection was comparable to like those Walmart $5 DVD bins, where it's like, wow, it's a giant bin. But the giantness of the bin is just to obfuscate the fact that it's the same movies over and over again. But there's more variety. But what we started noticing, and again, they were all in those like paper sleeves, is that some of them had errors on the printing. It's not like they were hand drawn. They were actually like professionally printed. They were just it had the mid-90s live action version of Disney's 101 Malations. And it was the right font.
Malations.
Everything was correct. The font was exactly as the actual poster is, but it was just 101 Malations.
Something had gone wrong.
We just assumed, so every time there's a printing error, they ship it to the third world. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, okay.
How do you get that printing error? How do you get an error where it just is the wrong letter?
I mean, one way is that you just have, like, foreigners, people who don't speak English, like, hastily typing out these things and to resell them quickly on the black market in one day. I don't know.
I imagine that these printings happen in, like, factories, right? Like, don't they just mass produce the DVDs? Like, how the fuck do you...
That's a hell of a typo to make.
It's a shame
that's a hell of a thing not to spell check.
I never got on a podcast sooner because I know I've forgotten about plenty of the typos that I saw. But there's a lot of various things about these discs that I remember. So like we went home and started watching them, and I don't remember what movie it was where we first saw this, but halfway through the movie, we just started seeing like black orbs appear at the bottom of the screen. Like the movie was being eaten away.
Is this a creepypasta?
No, it's people's heads in the theater.
Yeah, does Ben drown in this story?
They were just was live filmings of
They
were the black orbs hyper realistic?
It was just the shape of people's heads because it was people's heads.
See,
right?
so that's the issue right there. What had been done is these people had filmed theaters with people. You know, these were secondhand filmings, and then they like printed these sleeves and put them on DVDs and sold them en masse.
Yeah, not all of them were like that. Some of them were, some of them weren't. It was really weird how that works.
I'm quite familiar with these because of the fact that my dad, for whatever reason, in spite of the fact that my dad was like very against us torrenting movies because of it being illegal, he nonetheless would buy the vast majority of his movies from a guy who would sell bootleg movies out of the back of his car. And also bootleg suits. Like, this dude would just come to the dealership my dad works at and just, like, sell suits and DVDs and just, like, random stolen and or bootleg shit.
Man.
And he would sell these for, like, $3 a pop. And I'm like, Dad, if you want to buy an illegal movie, you can get it for free through torrenting, as opposed to paying $3 for it.
I guess your dad just, like, feels better spending some amount of money as opposed to nothing.
Well, I just think he sees it as untraceable.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
It's interesting that, because, like, I mean, Dad's buying illegal stuff, but like not having a problem with it. Because my dad, occasionally, he would come with like a hard drive, and he says he knows a guy who I also know who he is. He's not like a secret guy. He's not even like a criminal. He's just like a normal person, and he's like, he'll just like have a huge amount of like newly released films on a hard drive, or like a big lot of music.
You know,
and he would just give it to my dad, and Dad would be like, "Yeah, I've got all these movies now."
Had a Plex account that he just has. Like, he had his own server, and he would upload like insane amounts of movies and shows and shit to his Plex server, and then just give the information to all of his friends, so we could all just access his server and watch whatever.
That's fascinating.
It's pretty cool.
When I went to college, they had like that thing in place where on campus they shut it down so you can't torrent. They like closed that down. But what we did have, I forget the name of it. There was an in-house torrent operation running where on the local network of the school, the College of New Jersey, FYI, it's been shut down tragically now. But there was something, and I knew the people.
Wait,
who
the
were
college
running it.
has or the network has?
Well, like select students at the school ran a network on the school network that was like, so like there was a border set up so that you couldn't torrent outside of like within the school. But what you could do is someone could set up a server within that network on the campus, and then people, if they had access to that thing, you could download from those people. And, like, it always struck me as similar to, like, the scanlating crowd. It's like, who are these heroes who just, like, make it their hobby or their job to, like, make these things accessible to the rest of us? Because I was in a
scanslating group for a while.
But, yeah, scanlating is one thing. Because, like, I can see, like, people can't read that. You got to translate it. But even beyond that, just these people who want to, like, just get movies and just hold them on a hard drive, what's in it for them? What's in it for them?
Yeah.
Well, being able to for my friend Donson, being able to talk about the stuff.
Could I literally get pussy by doing this? That's what I want. I think I could.
I mean, that's probably. I mean, you easily could if that's what you're going for. I mean, but like my friend Donson was getting any pussy. He was just wanted to talk about these movies with his friends.
Okay,
so,
if you're in like a community of pirators or scanlators or what have you, it's a thing. It's a thing you do.
It's the same reason people do like coordinated harassment online.
You accrue social capital. In whatever context you're working in.
Gives you a fucking vain and cheap sense of purpose. It's the same reason that like people send death threats. It's pretty comparable. I'd say.
What?
No. I'm saying it's a pastime like any other, and it's you spend your time doing it with people, and you form bonds of camaraderie, and you build social capital, and everyone it's great.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a way to. Like, I mean, not just that, but also for me, like when I got into scanslation, and I was just doing proofreading, so like basically,
about death threats though.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
What he's trying to say is that like that same kind of social capital is why people form like hate groups online. Like,
people on the internet are bored and have no sense of purpose. They'll do fucking anything that gives them affirmation.
Right. Yeah, but you won't get any pussy at all from just telling someone to kill themselves online, unless you've got a girl like sitting right next to you.
You could start a rape group.
A rape group. Well, I get.
Do you mean a rape list like on Matic or like on Dick's website?
Yeah. Just maintain a rape list.
Yeah, that's true. That's a fact.
Torrent my rape list, guys. Here's the link.
Look it up. Yeah.
By the way, I did have more things to say about Ugandan bootleg DVDs, but I don't know if it's that funny. But I don't know.
Go for it, dude. Just go for it.
So.
What would a rape list even? What does that mean?
Well, I guess if you have a Word document that at the top says "women to rape" and then you have a list of names.
Is it to rape? Is it have been raped?
Like
what's being tracked here? What metrics? What metrics are we tracking?
I believe that the 8chan thread in question literally just said rape list and then just was pictures of women.
Well, that can be interpreted in all kinds of ways.
There you go. I
mean, I don't know what a rape list exactly is.
No, but we're going to find out on this episode of the Pro Crastinators podcast.
Oh, boy.
All right.
We're tackling the hard questions.
Yeah.
This is one video game you should not 100%.
Sheesh.
Yeah. And incidentally, that guy who made the rape list eventually found out about what it had caused and apologized to Dick.
I heard about that. But Davoo, tell us more about Ugandan Knuckles, please.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, there is... But for whatever reason, even though I've never actually seen all of The Lion King from start to finish, just never gotten around to it, nor have I seen The Lion King 2, for some reason we just decided to buy from this little duffel bag The Lion King 3.
Oh.
Okay.
So there's a Lion King 3?
Wait.
Speaking of The Lion King...
I was thinking of 1.5. Okay.
Speaking of The Lion King, today while we were watching Princess Mononoke, Kaze leans over to me and she's like, this song is exactly like that song from The Lion King. And I'm like, which song from The Lion King?
Hakuna Matata?
And she's like, No, and she's like, that one's, the Lion King song. And I'm like, so I don't know what she's talking about. So I say, I'm not that familiar with Lion King. It was my least favorite Disney movie as a kid because I don't like animals. And she just stares at me and goes, fuck you.
Wait, what song was she talking about?
I don't know. I'm not
sure.
I'm
thinking about all the songs in Princess Mononoke.
None of them.
It was some background music.
Okay,
it was some
there might have been
music.
Some background noise.
I'm not sure.
Remember when fucking Mufasa's ghost comes and gives Simba guidance and shit, and there's all that mysterious ambiance music.
And he's like, "I am your father."
Yeah. There might be something.
Same voice
there.
actor, actually.
Yeah, that's right. James Earl Jones. That's right. Sick.
I didn't even intend that. That was like, I was just saying.
Pretty
that.
appropriate.
So, if you ever wanted to know how the third movie after Princess Mononoke, Lion King 3, Return of Simba, right? So I'm thinking, whatever. We're in Africa. We're super bored. We'll never find a way. We'll just watch some DVDs.
This movie takes place in Africa, so it was probably pretty appropriate.
True. Well,
you'll never find a Dewey.
Here's what happened. We put in the movie.
Memes counter 2, air horn.
But Davoo did it first.
It's not The Lion King 3 Return of Simba.
Uh-oh.
It's The Flower of Oz, which is a 2D animated movie about the lion, the cowardly lion, and his side story before he found the yellow brick road. Funnily enough, I had actually seen that movie before, but it was, I guess I'm watching it again. So after I watched
I can confirm that The Lion King 3 is not a movie that exists.
Oh,
really?
Man, whoa, that's fascinating.
Because they had 1.5.
There's Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, and then there's Lion King 1.5.
Yeah. I was going to say, where did Simba go that he needed to come back?
And apparently, outside of North America, it is known as The Lion King 3 Hakuna Matata.
Okay.
This was not called Hakuna Matata. It was advertised with, I think it was actually just the stuff that was The Lion King 2, where it's like Scar's son or whatever the fuck like that. Yeah. So it's just The Lion King 2. That's what it was advertising it as.
By the way, just FYI,
logo.
that is canonically not Scar's son. The guy who looks exactly like Scar in every way and clearly should just be his son. Canonically, he is just another lion.
If you think that's
no relation.
Don't worry. It'll be topped when I tell you what happened when we looked at the at the sleeve. So we're like, okay, so the logo clearly says The Lion King 3. But then I look at it for more than a second, and I realize, I would have noticed this as an adult probably, but as a kid I didn't notice it. Mm-hmm. The actual cover art is The Lion of Oz. It has the cowardly lion in 2D animation and the girl that he meets, and I'm like, oh, so it's the Lion of Oz cover art, but with a Lion King 3 logo. And then I flip it back, right? I look at the back of the sleeve, and it's got the new Lion King 2 characters with that.
Okay, I typed Lion of Oz into Google, and I completely appreciate why this would be mistaken for the Lion King.
It looks like Simba. He looks like Simba.
Yeah.
I can see him here.
He looks like Simba, but also kind of looks like the art style for that one fucking animation that inspired the Yi meme.
Yeah. The white lion or whatever his name is.
This is that the font
this
and
is
the character
the equivalent
design
of what's that company that does all the movies where the titles
Ratatouille and Little Panda Fighter, or do you mean I
can't remember the name of that company.
They did Snakes on a Train.
God!
And they also made Sharknado, but that's not.
I want to say
The Asylum. That's by The Asylum.
Not just straight people.
Asylum film.
But dude, on the back of the sleeve, it shows the new young hip
Snakes
Scar
on a Train.
and the other.
I was thinking
the other Lion King characters, right? The back of the sleeve shows Lion King art, and it has a back of the blurb, right? It has a blurb on the back for the Lion King 3, right? The blurb says, "What happened to the cowardly lion before he found the yellow brick road?" And I was like, oh, they just somehow mashed up two different movies completely in every possible way. We also had this. We also had a DVD. This was a DVD in a plastic case for cheaper by the dozen. If you know that movie.
Is that the one with Steve Martin?
Yeah. What was funny though is that how the back of DVDs will have lots of symbols, like the rating symbol or the MPAA symbol. This DVD just had all the symbols on it. It was just row after row after row after row of every possible symbol, and it even had multiple ratings. It had an R rating, a PG rating, and a G rating.
Whoa.
And it
depends
really
on which
weird.
subtitle track you chose.
Yeah. Man, there was lots of weird things. I probably could have just made a whole podcast just recounting these memories, but we also bought these like
Hang on. Did you just posted an image and I have a problem with it?
God damn it. We're not an image podcast, you guys.
Kermit is a frog, and then Fuzzy Bear is a bear. None of the three in the middle at the bottom there, they're not mouses.
Show notes link, I guess, please.
This reminds me of a phenomenon that I don't know if any of you will be familiar with, but are any of you familiar with a genre, I guess, called Pooh's Adventures of?
What?
No.
A genre of Pooh's Adventures?
It is called Pooh's Adventures of, or Pooh's Adventures of X, and it is a okay, I think it was popular maybe a decade ago or a little less. Like, it enjoyed a brief surge, like a weird surge in popularity of lots of people doing that, and like a little community, kind of like the fucking pony analysis community. It was like this little niche community of people all doing the same thing, and what they were doing was taking footage from Winnie the Pooh movies and splicing them into other Disney movies or games or like footage from Disney World rides or just anything. Or they didn't have to just be Pooh, but mostly it was Pooh, but sometimes you use other characters, whatever. They would take these other characters or Pooh characters and splice them into other movies and make it a movie about Pooh experiencing the story of The Lion King or Snow White or like some fucking point-and-click Disney CD-ROM adventure or something.
I want to see one of these.
I will...
How long would one of these be? Like, how long would this be? Like
the length of the full movie.
Wow.
But longer because there's Winnie the Pooh footage inserted.
How much Pooh is in there? Like...
It's like a Pooh character reacting to anything that happens.
Reactions?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and it's like the idea is just make it. Yeah.
Oh, bother.
Okay. No, look, this is a really deep rabbit hole, actually, and like it bears more explaining.
Really?
Okay. I can't do it justice on a podcast. There's more to it. There's more to it than like to the community. Like there's wikis, or there were wikis where there were character lists, and people would have to basically like. People would jockey for, like, the rights to use certain sets of character, and, like, two groups were not allowed to use the same character. Like, one character would be claimed by one group.
What is this? That guy with the glasses?
Who is enforcing the claims here?
I mean,
it's just a zeitgeist, I guess. I googled Pooh's Adventures of. What I'm finding is, like, all these movie covers, and then, like, it's like a Toy Story 3 cover, and then just, like, it is filled with, like, characters from, like, other cartoon properties, like Pooh, and, I don't know, the fucking Looney Tunes and Gronk, just I don't
lots of Thomas
understand.
I'm pulling up the Pooh's Adventures wiki.
Oh my god,
right
there's like
now.
100 of them.
Yeah, there's a million of these.
There's more. There's more. Like there's.
I love me some Winnie the Pooh, but
how convincingly made are they? Like,
they're not. Like okay, like the Pooh segments will just have no sound and just have like some badly fonted, some badly typeset text.
I mean, is
over
it like
are there
like,
any
like
good
a
ones?
meme or is it like sincere?
No, it's sincere. Like they'll take the silent Pooh footage and put it in and put some font at the bottom, some text at the bottom, like giving them a new line, like as though Pooh is saying like, "Wow, Maleficent sure is a scary witch" or something.
But it cannot be understated when Nate said that it's like movie posters with a shitload of characters. It's like 100 characters.
Yeah, like 100
on every
characters.
poster.
I'm seeing Pooh's Adventures of Freddy Got Fingered with like Sonic. I mean, Sonic,
okay,
Dr. Phil, Barney, Panty and Stocking,
some of them are probably
SpongeBob.
tongue in cheek. Some of them are probably tongue in cheek.
All right, you're probably right.
Especially the later ones, but many of them are sincere.
This is fascinating. And my question is, Ben, are there any good ones? Was anything good ever made as a result of this?
Okay,
there
is this little cabal, or there was this little cabal of 4 dudes. They were headed by this guy called Benny the Beast. And there were a couple other ones whose names escape me at the moment. It doesn't matter. But they were called Lion King Heart Fantasy Films. Okay. And they evolved the format. Much like all of us evolved and grew outside of the bounds of pony analysis.
Yeah. These the best of the best.
Yeah. Sort of. These guys, okay, so they were doing Pooh's Adventures, and they would do other adventures. They did like a Snow White, whatever.
Yeah.
Eventually, they started inserting their OCs into it as well. And then eventually they broke up and they started making movies that were just about their OCs in other movies.
Are those good?
And so no, but they're more interesting because these are like specific people. And I mean, okay, I dug into this a while back, and I had. The saga of Lion King Heart, like the rise and fall of Lion King Heart fantasy films, is kind of okay. I want to talk more about it. I want to talk more about it in the future. I feel like I'm not prepared to give a lot of info about it right at this very second.
Ben, stop doing comics. Stop doing physics. Stop doing anything. Just become a full-time internet level 6 bottom of the iceberg researcher and make fucking lectures, please.
I would be happy with that.
There are plenty of people who do that already, like internet historian and medical.
Frederick Knudsen.
This will have to be in the show notes. This image I just shared because I can't stop staring at it. It's blowing my fucking mind. So this is Mint-Chi 33's Anti-Pooh's Adventures team, and it's just an image of like 12 characters this person likes, but like what's really fascinating about it is that it's the most girl internet thing I've ever seen, because it's like all either really obscure old Western cartoons or like some of it's like Winx Club and shit, but then there's like a bunch of Precure characters and a Kamen Rider character mixed in. And like
Anti-Pooh Adventures team.
I'm just trying to picture someone who even knows this. This is
exactly like that scene in Tails Gets Trolled where they do the group pose and they all get like the title, like Shadow the Awesome, Teemo the Annoying, etc., etc.
Yeah,
Kermit the
that's
Brains.
what this is.
I'm just really
I read that as the Brains.
That some like one person has this set of characters they like because it's so weird and diverse.
I've seen Precure.
I mean, this is just everything from everything they've seen. You know, this is a kid,
and
this is all their
shows. Why have they even seen some of this stuff? Like, what the hell is the damn elephant thing from?
Mumphy?
I'm
not familiar with
Mumphy. Yeah, it's been a million
nor
years.
with Ako-chan, nor with Vivian. Akari Sakura.
Also, I like what is this role? Vivian, the new girl. Oh, right, the effective role that's essential to any team. And
then in the middle of it, fucking weapons expert, Kamen Rider wizard is just this one like.
So Akari Sakura, this character is apparently from Jewel Pet, which is a show from. It's a super long running little girls show that not a whole lot of people know about in the West, but like.
It doesn't look like
it's along the lines of like Precure and shit. Like it airs in that kind of time slot. So
I'm looking at Kamen Rider.
You really should look at this image.
The Kamen Rider, I'm really curious.
The Kamen Rider just sticks out like such a sore thumb.
I feel like the Kamen Rider would probably be like she has a brother and she's seen Kamen Rider because he watches
That's probably
maybe. Yeah.
I mean, Kamen Rider Wizard is it's an entire series. He is the main character of Kamen Rider Wizard, which was the 2012 Kamen Rider show.
Wow.
I wonder if this person like actually lives in Japan, because like Kamen Rider airs again in the same block as Precure, and I think Jewel Pet might be there too. So it's possible that she just like watches this whole block every morning. Or something.
Do you like that? Do you like that fucking Cinderella is the stealth expert? What are her credentials? What are her fucking credentials here?
Whoa!
That's not appropriate. That's not appropriate at all.
All right,
because she has that like transformation. Is that the logic? I don't understand what this.
She has tiny feet.
For sneaking, right?
No, she has tiny feet, dude. That's why she wears tiny slippers that don't fit any of the other maidens in the kingdom.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Stealth.
And she's got her fairy godmother that can like turn vegetables into things for her.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't have enough information about Vivian to figure out where she's from.
Google reverse image search,
3D.
maybe.
Guys, we're going down a rabbit hole here.
I
mean, this
just talking about.
We could probably go on to discuss Pooh's Adventures of indefinitely. There's no shortage.
That's true.
They just never end. And they just get better and better.
Well, speaking of crazy funny things that are makes me laugh a lot, I have a topic to bring forth. I have just very recently I would have said within 10 minutes of starting to record this episode, but we had to wait a while. So it was more like 40 minutes. But I just finished watching the very last episode of Tim and Eric's awesome show.
Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. Even I haven't watched every episode. That's awesome.
I enjoy Tim and Eric. It's good. They make me laugh.
Have you seen the $1 billion movie?
Oh, I haven't yet.
Oh, that should be next on your list.
The $1 billion movie. They're like two horses running in the wind. Running in the wind. Always thought about Keg and Phantom when I heard two horses.
Oh, there's still time. There's still time.
Two horses.
The thing
we haven't Max Revive TBAP yet. We got to work that in
soon.
We got to work that into the Max Revive.
Agreed.
But I was watching it, and it's like some parts aren't that funny. Some parts don't really land.
That's
but
true.
All of it really gives me a lot of funny ideas. I really want to staple my green screen to the wall and just do silly faces. I just really want to do that, and I have the ability.
Yeah, dude.
This is the sort of inspiration comedy. Because I've always loved the goofy stuff. I sometimes get bogged down when writing scripts that I have to make the jokes be smart or have something to do with something. And watching Tim and Eric, I realize I don't have to. I can go back to my roots. I can go back to my YouTube poop days and see all of this. It's based on some sort of observation, so it sort of makes sense. But it is it's just really creative, and I love it. I feel so into making film right now.
Yeah.
Having finished it.
You know what I love about Tim and Eric is that even though I didn't really watch it at all growing up because it was too much for me, every show they did, the stuff in it is just so fucking out there that something will just get into your subconscious at some point. I can remember I only ever saw a few episodes of Tom Goes to the Mayor and a few episodes of Tim and Eric, but from each of them I have vivid memories of one line. In the first episode of Tom Goes to the Mayor, I just remember, good Tom Brady got his kiosk. Things were finally looking up for him. And that's it.
I never really liked Tom Goes to the Mayor, and so I didn't really get into Awesome Show when it aired. But then at some point someone showed me $1 Billion Movie and I really liked it. And I was like, maybe I wrote Tim and Eric's style off too soon.
I wonder. It's okay. Whoever just linked this, Davoo linked part of this comic. It doesn't need to be in the show notes. This is I think we've talked about this before, but it reminded me of the New Storyteller, and I'm wondering if a lecture could be done on the New Storyteller, if there is enough
that would be
comprehensible.
That would be the biggest fucking research dump ever, though. So, okay, what I linked, though...
You'd have to watch a lot of stuff.
So,
Davoo, do we have to talk about more images? I mean, that's just not what we should be doing,
the whole time you guys were talking about all this giant collage
I wanted them to stop, dude. Don't look at me.
I was scrolling through my Twitter to find this old gem I found. I'll just read you one passage from it. I'm just going to read
fair enough.
one of the panels. Here is the panel. I'm going to read it in the way it's lined up. Sunset Shimmer says, any ideas? Brock. Why don't we could split up and look for the green genie that way? Thomas, as in the tank engine. Point taking, Brock. Sunset Shimmer, you, Susie, and Autumn ride with Swindle. Ellie, you, Amanda, Mindy, and Sally search the parks. We'll meet back at Pioneer Square. Ellie says, okay. So it's a bunch of Thomas the Tank Engine characters, some Magical Girl characters I don't recognize, MS Paint modified, some Transformers, Brock from Pokemon, Sunset Shimmer, and the fucking parrot from Aladdin.
Iago. It's Iago.
I think the Magical Girls are all from Ojamajo Doremi, but he has heavily modified them in MS
They're
Paint.
mermaids right now. Oh, there's also Jackie from fucking Cyber Chase in there. Yeah. I wish I was I allowed myself to express myself this freely, you know?
This I know what you mean. This is Chris Chan. I look at this and I think this looks like Sonichu to me. It's basically the same.
I feel that same yearning for just doing something on this level without worrying about my self-image. but I can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I think that if any of us tried this, it would actually be amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
All that's really missing from this is competence. I mean, like, we all thought that when Ben summarized Tails Gets Trolled, it sounded like the greatest story ever told.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
Like, Hippo, if you just fucking took all these fucking magical girls and Transformers and Thomas the Tank Engines and combined them into a gripping narrative, I mean, hell.
Well, remember that comic that fucking Gibb did with, like, Twilight and, remember that thing?
Oh,
what was going on with all that Marceline
ages ago.
and whatnot?
Yeah, that was like
great.
one of the first DeviantArt things in my Little Pony drawing of Pony's career, which lasted like a year or something.
A really funny, interesting, fascinating, and also ultimately tragic case of one of these kinds of creators who's actually good at their medium is Alvin Earthworm with his creation of Super Mario Bros. Z.
Oh, he was back. Is he? How are things going?
Oh, no, this is the problem. So,
Wow.
Dude who...
Didn't he... Yeah.
Dude who, made one of the, it was in the height of the sprite animation on Newgrounds phase, and he was the best one. He just took Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga sprites, Sonic Advance sprites, and DBC sound effects, and a million people were doing that, but what was unique about Alvin Earthworm is that he's actually, like, he got really good at animation.
Yep.
It has a great cinematic style, a lot of punch, and it's
just as a quick aside, I have a rant about like this and also various other things like Minecraft animations that I've seen in a similar way. This is my problem with the thing. The reason I never liked it was because it's sprites, but it's animated in Flash, and the sprites don't conform to a grid. They move diagonally, and it looks terrible, and I hate it.
Oh, I like it.
It's the worst.
It's quaint.
I agree. I mean, that does bother me, but like, considering the kind of like this is like Newgrounds, like early noughties.
I mean,
era. So
it's
like,
just
that,
like
it was
as
fine
as
for
a
the
kid,
time.
I see stuff like that, and it was just Well, with Minecraft animations, there's a similar thing where instead of like animating pixel mouth movements, they have like a mouth jutting out, like in the Minecraft model. Like, it's supposed to be his head is supposed to be a square, but of course they don't do that. They made models so that they could have movable lips and teeth and stuff, and it juts out in a way that would not work. I mean, does not conform to the size of the pixels in the game, and it just sort of annoys me because it's like you're breaking the rules. It's not Minecraft.
Yeah, when I'm watching Minecraft porn, it really pulls me out of the experience when she's got like clearly defined triangular tits and shit. Like that's not
like
stop.
Triangles, really?
Come on, that doesn't exist. Yeah. That's not a real thing.
No, well, they have cuboids.
Somebody get Zone.
And they have
somebody get Zone Sama to make a
show-accurate
Minecraft
yes, please.
porn
please
thing.
Do.
Has to be cubes.
I agree. Hey, Tim and Eric,
continue.
Unless Davoo is going to finish his point.
Oh, yeah.
The
tragedy of Alvin Earthworm is that because he takes his shit seriously, right? Which is great because it gives Super Mario Bros. Z a sincerity you couldn't imitate. The problem is that he's worried about its like quality consistency. So when he finally came back after like a 3-year hiatus, his plan was to remake the show rather than just continue it. And his plan was also to have like a total of 45 episodes, each out of 15, like 3 15-episode arcs.
That's a lot of fucking episodes.
Yeah,
Jesus
considering
Christ.
It was taking him a year to make each one, it's like you're not going to finish it, obviously.
Yeah,
and like even 10 years ago, I even PM'd him saying like, I think that's too many episodes. You should stop at 15 because 15 was going to be the end of this one arc. And like the point is that every episode is more bombastic and fast. And at 15, that'll be the perfect level. He really should have come back and made episode 9 and just made 5 more episodes after that. That would have been done. He would have been finished. But he wanted to go back and remake episode 1.
No, that's a mistake.
That sort of stuff makes me really sad.
He remade
they have such like talent,
but they overdo it.
Instead of it's not even like they spend their time making something that isn't like their own original IP. Yeah. But like to not have like I don't know.
Yeah, just the fucking fans of this series have been trapped in Act 6 fucking Gigapause limbo like, for 10 years.
Did nobody come up to this guy and say, look, dude, this is not your magnum opus.
Yeah, it's not.
Move on.
And the problem And then like he did the remake of episode 1, I believe 3 years ago, and he hasn't continued it since. So fuck.
I mean, I just think a good rule, you don't redo stuff. Like don't redo
anything.
Stuff.
Why would you ever waste your time?
Finish it and then do it better next time.
Do something better next time. This is my whole remake things. Why would you ever waste your fucking time remaking something that already exists when you could just make something new? And the reason is so that you can sell things with like that same name. But Alvin ain't making no fucking money on this shit. So just finish your goddamn series and move on.
And also, like, you can just make the same, like, you can just make a different version of the same thing. Like, some people, I read this review of Princess Mononoke that was in, like, an old magazine where this guy was accusing it of just, like, being the same thing as, Nazca, but, but with less heart or something.
Nah.
But to me, the whole
that's
point
just like
of
that
it
V
is
meme of like heart and no heart. Anyone know this? Okay, never mind. Sorry.
To me, it was like, well, the thing about Nazca is that it is not a functional film. Like, the original manga is amazing, and I mean, the movie still holds up and is really entertaining, but, like, as telling the story that the manga was trying to tell, it falls entirely flat of doing that, whereas Princess Mononoke was just like, let's take all those themes and all the stuff that I care about, me being Hayao Miyazaki, and be like, let's make a movie out of that, you know? So, like, something that functions completely and coherently as a film, and then he hasn't had to tackle those themes again, because he did it, you know, he just made it something that made more sense in film form. Yeah, and it's, as a film, it is way better than the Nazca movie, you know, and, like, granted, I would, you know, the Nazca manga is also great. I would even say Mononoke, just by being tight and perfectly crafted, is in many ways better than the Nazca manga, even if it's not as broad. But, like, it's just like, you could just take these concepts and do something better considered instead of literally recreating the same thing with better graphics, because that doesn't add anything to the meaning of the work.
Worse graphics if you're fucking modern Alpha Dream.
That's true.
Significantly worse graphics.
You know, like the conundrum of the author or of the creator of any medium, who's just like, you know, you're making your thing, you look back, like you're an Andrew Hussey or whoever, and you're like, man, my early stuff, man. Like, I'm doing the same series for so long. Oh, I don't really like that beginning. I gotta fix that. What a terrible. Like, we just have to fight against that. And I know what that feels like too.
I have always hated that, which is why, like, I have made a point, aside from like one or two very clearly I should get rid of. But, like, I always try to keep every video I have live so that people can see, like, where I came from. And I trust that they have, you know, the mental capacity to understand that it's an old video. And if they do get upset, then I don't have to worry about it because they're stupid.
Hopefully.
With regard, I mean, for me, I feel like maybe I don't get that as much, like, with my comics I'm thinking of. Because, like, when I finish a comic, I look at it, and I think, oh my god, what a disaster. It sucks. I hate it. I want to be done with it and never think about it again. So I actually feel I don't feel the urge to read. I think that it sucks, but I don't feel the urge to redo it. I feel the urge to throw it away and never come and get it as far away from me as possible.
I feel the same way.
You know, it's like
comics,
when you take a shit and it's like, wow, that smells really bad. I want to, like, be far away from it. Like, that's me with art.
I just think that, like, anytime an artist, like, looks at their own work and thinks, like, wow, my technical abilities are so much greater, I could recreate this with better technical ability. It's like, dude, how much of what you like do you like for its technical, like, you know, quality? Like, how much of what, like, all of us like stuff that is,
for me,
someone threw together in an hour.
Almost none.
I think
most people are probably the same, even if they don't know.
Did somebody say JonTron?
No. I think probably more. I think a lot of people probably think that like technical ability matters more than it actually does to them. I think they probably are less affected by technical ability of a work than they maybe think they are.
I'll tell you right now,
I don't know if that's crazy.
If your work is not successful, it's for one of two reasons. Either at its core, it is not good, or you didn't market it enough. Like, I think that if something is good and it fails, it's not because the work wasn't of a high enough, like, technical quality. It's because just the right people didn't find out about it. And you just got to keep looking for it. You know?
There it is.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of part of what I talk about in this How They Marketed series. It's something I've fucked up on throughout my whole career, is that, like, I've made stuff that I just thought, like, oh, nobody's going to watch it because the lighting's not good. And it's like, meanwhile, like, Paranormal Activity is, like, one of the most successful movies of all time. The production, it was made on, like, $2,000, and it looks like shit, and most of it is still images of something in the dark. But, like, it was successful because they put, like, an investor who, you know, like, it was made on the shoestring budget and sold to an investor who decided to put it in test theaters continually of increasing size, and when it got good responses from those test theaters, he released it wide and eventually made 1,000 sequels, because, like, if you can find something profitable that takes no money to make,
when you were talking about, like, looking at your old stuff and, like, being afraid of it, trying to destroy it, one thing, and I had to go and look this up to confirm it's still true, one thing I respect deeply is that the Game Theorist's channel still has fully listed and available at the bottom the, like, 3 or so dozen, like, clips of young MatPat in, like, high school plays that were uploaded for, like, that were uploaded on the channel before Game Theory started. Those are still listed. I don't have the courage to have my videos from 2008 listed. The Digibrony videos are unlisted. 70% of everything Jesse's ever created has been deleted. But MatPat, he is the spirit of YouTube. You can deny it all you want, but
videos and they won't interrupt his searching at all. Like, if you search, the reason I hated all my pony stuff was that, like, it was like, I had, like, 10 anime videos and then an endless sea of pony videos, and I was like, this is not going to help me market myself as an anime channel, you know? And also, YouTube's really weird about, like, when you relist, I don't think this happens necessarily with unlisted videos, but sometimes I've had videos that I originally had unlisted and then I published them, and it made them publish as new videos. So I'm, like, afraid of that happening, and that's why I haven't re-unlisted.
Did you say those were originally, had they been unlisted the whole time? And then you made them public?
The ones I've seen that happen with, yes.
Because
I
actually
take the risk to.
But public service for everybody.
April Fools.
But public service for everybody. Do you guys watch the Creator Studio channel on YouTube? Because it is the thing that we've always wanted, of where YouTube directly tells us what they're doing. And I feel like they're oddly unknown among lots of YouTube people. But anyway, they actually
it gets
just
brought
announced...
up by MKBHD. Sometimes will mention it.
They just talked about this very issue where, yes, if you've had a video unlisted for a long time, if you are making it public for the first time, it will treat it as a new video. And then it'll, you know, do all the things like that.
I mean, my pony videos were originally listed, so assumably they would not have that problem.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. I would kind of want to feud with those guys, TBH. I want to feud with them, with Creator Studio.
Fuck YouTube Creator Studio. We got beef now. If you're a PCP fan, go leave shitty comments.
No, I don't encourage that at all. No.
No one's gonna do that.
I hope not. I want to start substantive beef.
They're all too chicken to do it.
We tried to start beef with the Pizza Party podcast like 6 months ago, and it didn't even work.
We did not try nearly hard enough.
Look, this is the real complaint with this channel, the Creator Studio. I haven't mentioned this up to this point, but here's what it is. My complaint is this: these people on the channel act as if they have earned the like something like 70,000 subscribers they currently have through like some sort of like skill or like resilience or wherewithal of their own, when these people are the first party publishers of YouTube news. They are the sole source of what the hell YouTube is doing. I am contractually obligated as a YouTuber to be subscribed to you. So the fact that these people take joy from yay, we're doing so well as a channel. No, fuck you. You didn't earn shit. You are spoon-fed these gems of information by fucking Susan herself.
Sad.
It is sad.
If they think they've accomplished anything.
Exactly.
Somebody should illegally download them and then re-upload them, and then that should get all the subscribers.
Your farcical call to harass their comment sections and its farcicalness. I think you at some point are going to experience this paradigm shift when you hit a certain level of popularity and a certain level of fan base. Because as it is, your fan base is pretty well curated of only people who kind of get it. But if you intend to get 1 degree more popular, where like what do you call an order of magnitude more successful, you're gonna have several ghettos full of morons who support you.
That's
and
true.
Now you have to
know how
really
I can
watch
avoid
your
that?
tongue. What?
I have a lot more patience for interacting with people now, because it used to be that all of it frustrated me. But now I realize that, like, almost everyone who, like, comes at anybody online, there's only two reasons they would do it. Either they're ignorant, they either don't actually know what you're doing, or they are just, like, dumb, and, like, they think what you're doing is bad, but if you explained it to them, they'll realize it's not.
Well, hang on, Digi. That's assuming that you could never do anything wrong on your own. You didn't point out that you might legitimately be doing something wrong that is deserving of criticism.
If I'm legitimately doing something wrong, that's fine. People can attack me for it. I would deserve that. Mm-hmm. But, like, what I'm saying is that, like, I used to just see people who were misunderstanding me or something, or talking shit, and my thing was to just complain about it but not respond. And now my policy is, if someone, like, shits on me on Twitter, always respond, because 9 times out of 10 they just misunderstood something. That's also kind of why Digibro versus everybody exists, because, like,
right,
most of the arguments are like, someone comes on and, like, tries to argue with me, and I'm like, oh, well, that's not actually my stance, this is my stance, and they go, oh, well, then we agree, and I go, yeah, you would have known that if you knew my stance, but because you had assumed something else, you didn't know that. So, like, and they always end amicably. Like, I haven't had a single argument on there that, like, ended in a shit fit, you know? So I just think it's a better way to resolve things. So when people have their fan base that gets out of control, it's because they don't respond to it. They don't interact with it. And,
I mean, I just generally agree with that. And that's why I think that the format on your Digibro versus everybody is like a smart way. Because when you get someone in the call to actually make their argument about whatever it is, they really have to, like, present something of substance, or else they look like the fool. But the problem is that...
it does happen. Like, people come in and I say, like, what's your argument? And they're like, this. And then I'm like, well, why do you think that? And then they're like, oh, shit, I didn't realize that I don't even know. Like, the last episode I did, someone was, like, talking about, oh, your content has changed, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what about my content has changed? And the dude had, like, no real answer. And I was like, well... I mean, if anything's changed, I mean, I've changed as a person, so it might be that. And he was like, oh, I didn't think about it that way.
I mean, the only thing about this, I think, is that this can't possibly, like, compensate for, like, all viewers. Like, I'm not sure how much it could sway, like, public opinion, you know?
Yeah, Digi, like I was saying, like, yeah, you're saying, oh, I'll have to interact with the community when it gets big enough. That's basically what I'm saying the paradigm shift is going to be. There's going to be a moment where there's, like, more things you have to watch yourself before you say. I remember the last time this happened was your most boring taste in anime vlog, which wouldn't have been a problem to anyone at all, except for the fact that you name dropped fucking anime every day. And there was this sudden reaction.
But see, what I should have done is, after he made his video, I should have, like, called him up and done a podcast.
I was deeply frustrated
him,
you didn't just, like, address it directly, and you just let the narrative sort of die there.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I used to get so frustrated that people were not understanding my point, and I'd be like, that's their fault. And now I'm just a lot more patient to just, like, not stop the argument until they get it. So, and I think it's just that, like,
I'm a big believer in the idea that, like, I guess I'm a big death of the author guy, and I think that whatever a viewer takes away from a work of art is the meaning to them, and, like, the conveyance of meaning is the author's responsibility. And if something other than what was intended is conveyed to the reader, it's not the reader's fault. I don't think it's ever the reader's fault for misunderstanding.
I kind of agree, but I also feel as though it's easy enough for you to just follow up. Like, if the reader doesn't get it, then just tell them what you meant, and a lot of the times they'll go, oh, now I get it. I see. I mean, it happens to me every day now, because I'm arguing with what I've been doing lately is just, like, dropping these super spicy hot takes on Twitter, and then getting, like, shitloads of responses, and then I just argue with all of them until they acquiesce, basically, like, or get it.
I have been away from Twitter, not because of that, but every time I come to, see what's going on, see my notifications, see if anybody said anything, and I see you with, like, a huge, big thing, and I'm like, oh, God.
You gotta think of it differently. No. I am doing that because it's fun. I'm doing it on purpose, and I'm doing it to source research for my book as well.
Well, yeah, but like it just reminds me of things that have happened in like the sort of people that I have had arguments with. Right. And then I looked at my last notifications. I redesigned Survivor, the Pokemon, because I thought he looked bad, and like every reply was like, great... "Fuck you."
What?
Survivor's cool.
Yours was so much better.
Yeah, and I was just
why
like,
would that make anyone mad?
Why would I stay here if everyone's annoying?
I've been off Twitter for a couple of weeks now. It is fucking. I didn't know how terminal that cancer was until I got rid of it. Holy shit! Every day I don't log into Twitter is like a victory.
It's sort of dazzling when like I've wakened from a an eternal nightmare, and I'm just looking back at like the fire that is like burns
I'm gonna say hips, overall, and I'm like,
wow, I was in that. I was there all the time.
Let me tell you guys about a magical phrase I've found to. So part of the problem with arguing on Twitter is that like the way I've always handled it is like the people who have a kind of reasonable, or like they have an argument, I'll argue with them. And those are the people that are easiest, because you can eventually reach a point. But then there's the people who just say, you're a fucking moron. And like, I never knew how to deal with those people, but now I figured it out. I just respond, explain yourself. And like, it works, because they either have to now explain themselves or not, and like, so now they have to formulate an argument. The only people it doesn't work on are the ones who say, you explain your point first, and I'm like, I already did. That was the original tweet, was an explanation of my, what are you fucking talking about, like, and even the people who are really obstinate, they're often obstinate because they're in the heat of the moment, but those people will sometimes come back the next day and be like, yeah, I thought about it, and like realize I was stupid,
Yeah. My tactic used to be for no argument insult tweets or like comments would just be to reply with no. and if they replied again, I would just reply no. It doesn't matter whether they're asking
the voice of fingers around my dick when the guy says no.
Maybe I'm cynical here, but I consider responding to most of these things a huge waste of time.
And it's not, dude. No? It's really not, because I convert people every day. Like, every time I do this, every time I hot take on Twitter, I change a bunch of people's fucking minds about shit, and that's what I want. Like, that's my ultimate goal.
Hang on. Okay, here's my full argument. It's that would the time spent... Okay, I'm just talking about from my personal life. Would the time spent doing this possibly be better used on just making, and I know I can't get like a full video out in the time spent tweeting, Nate, working on something that would just like be more important for me.
Here's the thing is, Nate, that you can reach 50,000 people, kind of,
sure,
but you can reach one person all the way.
Yeah,
okay.
Digi, let me explain.
I mean, that's what like community outreach is,
Digi,
right?
this is working for you.
There's definitely a place for engaging in like a one-on-one kind
doing
of
way. Doing all this, Digi, has worked for you because it's after 3 years of you letting stupid misunderstandings and bad communication fester.
Why are you telling Digi? Why are you telling Digi his situation?
Because I've been there for a lot of it. I've been following it very closely for years. It's like, I always knew why people were misunderstanding his shit or like not getting his content. And
you always knew, Davoo. You had the answers all along. Is that
it's not
what it was?
Complicated. Digi's explaining it now. It's not that hard. It's easy to get people to get it, and it's
just a matter of you have to be willing to not give up on a person until they get it. Because the reason that I've taken this stance is that what I realized is these people never go away.
Yeah, that's true.
They never disappear. Like,
but by the same token, you'll never convert them all.
You'll never convert them all, but if you can convert enough people that the people who disagree are in the minority, those people will eventually look like chumps, and they will they will feel othered, and they won't want to be that way anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
I hear what you're saying, but like, my part of me is just thinking that, like, I think the best way to handle, like, there's no way I can convert the numbers of people. I mean, I don't really have a lot of haters, but, there's some people like to
that's
shitpost
exactly why
me.
this isn't really as relevant to you, Nate. You just, like, make good videos. You haven't, like, gotten into these weird opinion shit fit things that have been controversial.
I remember in the TBAP days, we had kind of a policy of, like, don't respond to comments.
Basically, that's right.
And, I don't think that was wrong or the wrong way to do it or a bad idea. Like, I think the idea was that, like, responding to comments, like, kind of puts you down in the muck, like, with the commenters. This
was a disagreement between you and I. I very much was of the opinion that, like, I don't want to engage with the people who are criticizing the comments because that nothing good will come of it, was my thinking.
I think... I don't know. I don't know, it's complicated. I mean, okay, here, let me give the most milquetoast, boring answer. I think I see the validity of both sides of the argument. Okay,
well, there you go.
We're all winners. We're all winners here.
I feel like I'm coming across like a big anti-respond to people thing. It's like, if people want to do that, that's fine. I like my thought is, like, I could take the time to respond to everybody, but I think that I'm better use of my time is to, like, work. And, like, lots of people will email me or send me a message with, like, I don't know, I get a lot of sincere comments on things or like personal messages that people don't want other people to say. I respond, like, people on my Patreon, on my Discord, and Twitter, like, I respond to everything that is clearly sincere that I've ever gotten. And if those numbers inflated, I might not be able to. So, if I miss you in the future, take it easy. But,
to decide
like, that's
whether or
how
not
I feel.
you want to respond to comments, you have to decide first. We have to decide what is the goal. And Digi described his goal pretty clearly. Yeah. Basically, shift where the consensus is to be in my favor, right? You're not trying to be talking.
That's been the goal of all my content. Basically, is like convince people that whatever the consensus idea is, if it does not jive with what I think, then let me move people over to my side.
So, it's not about taking every hill; it's about winning the war net balance. But
but that's how I think too. And this is my approach. I'm trying to crowdsource the conversion. I'm not trying to do it all myself. I'm trying to get them to convert themselves here.
I'm kind of that's part of my goal too. It's just that, like. And I think with your content, you have such a very clear stance that it's easier to have people who totally get you on your side. Like,
I think so.
For you have, like, several key points that I think are broadly understood by your whole audience. And I have a few of those, like, objectivity doesn't exist. Like, that's something that I don't have to make that argument, because literally if someone attacks me by saying, like, your reviews aren't very objective, a swarm of my guys will just, like, jump on that dude.
Right.
And that's the kind of thing that would probably happen with you if someone was attacking, like, the core principles of what you do. But yours are just so well defined and mine are so chaotic and scattershot.
It's different for each content creator. And then also it's very contextual, talking about, okay, does responding to comments put you down in the muck and the mire? Because, like, there's a pretty clear...
I just think it's inefficient, that's all.
I think there's a pretty clear unwritten, unspoken set of rules and paradigms as to, like, what is proper conduct, right? We always have this... There's a pretty clear, unchallenged consensus that's implicit in a lot of people's ideologies about punching up versus punching down, right?
Sure.
Hence why people suddenly found it controversial that Digi would call out other content creators only once his sub count rose significantly. Before that, he could call out anyone and no one gave a shit. But once Digi was perceived as popular, suddenly it was seen as wrong. Before that, not at fucking all. And also, so it depends on how you respond to individual comments and what kind of comments you respond to.
Okay.
No,
sorry. I'm sorry. No. Continue. I have a thing I really want to say, but
this is my thing. I'm gonna say, and then
Yes.
So I had been witnessing a certain like cultural mindset around me that I wasn't into. This whole idea, and I believe it was I saw it starting a couple of years ago or a year ago or so. This idea that, oh, Davoo, he doesn't make his own videos. He edits someone else's videos, and this is a problem. He could get held back. He's not like trudging out analysis videos like everyone else. He's not writing. This is a problem. He could end up cold and alone any day now. And it's like, okay. So step one is to not just dismiss the argument, dismiss the idea as just stupid. It comes from a place of logic, and I get it. And I saw there was a person who confronted me on it, like on a comment section, and being a huge condescending prick about it, saying shit like, oh, this is going to stunt your growth. It's like, okay, dude, fuck off. I get that the internet has made people...
Sounds like he's making a lot of assumptions about your goals in life.
Yes, I think people have gotten really used to, thanks to the internet, the idea of people who make things all by themselves, but even on the internet, it's actually not that common for things that are actually really popular. Yeah, so, but I knew that there's not that many people who are saying this yet, right? It's not like I'm being inundated with it. And so I can't just I can't just mount a giant, like, rebuttal to this. I have to wait for the right time.
I mean, all that really matters here is, like if he's saying this, like, all this entire argument hinges on what are your goals. If your goals are to become an independent video game analysis channel, you are fucking up massively. But that's not, I mean, I don't think that's the plan, so there you go.
So
on this...
I'm almost done here.
Continue.
This was basically my tactical decisions I made, right? Because like I was sensing, hey, some people are murmuring about this, and so I bet that there's a lot of people who aren't saying it, but they're on the fence about it, right? People who would love to hear what I have to say, my response to it, right? And so I just have to be tactical there. If I immediately jump out like being really defensive about it or really being argumentative about it, it'd make people think, oh, why are you being so defensive about it? There's only like a couple of people who've said this so far. So I just laid in wait, and I remember specifically thinking, if anyone else comments this to me, I'll do that shit. Like that's when I'll strike. So what happened was this one super ultra turbo shit posty troll guy, who like is the worst troll of all, like commented the perfect model of this ideology, right? He posted a comment on me, and he was a huge dick about it, and I'm like, perfect. I will read this comment in a vlog and then very, very cordially and politely respond to it and provide my case, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll look amazing, and this whole ideology will look fucking retarded because this guy was being hugely like dickish about it, right? And now I have the video. The video is called Response to Everyone Who Thinks That Working With Another YouTuber is Bad, something like that. And now I just have that vlog in which I perfectly make my case, and I can just link that forever, and that's how I've pitch shifted the fucking narrative.
Well, there you go.
The subject of like responding personally to things. Okay, so there's this idea, and I think it's pretty obviously true that like if you've got a fan base, if you're popular on the internet or in anything, you've got your body of fans. You got people that know you and follow you and maybe like what you're doing. But then there's the subgroup that is like your real fans, like the people that will actually support you in what you do, like the people that care enough to like buy your book or Patreon you or whatever it is. The people that would probably support you no matter what you were doing. Like that's like the bottom, that's like the top 10% or the top 1% of like the people. And like a lot of those, like those people, a lot of them, like sometimes you just reach someone on a real deep level with your stuff, but other times that kind of thing comes from like, you connected with someone on a personal level and you like, had like a real human connection due to whether it's just a fucking reply to a tweet, or I don't know, maybe a conversation on Discord or anything that could happen.
Yeah.
And like, so that's, like you might grow your audience. You might grow your audience numbers by like putting out like broad stuff and like big projects that get seen by a lot of eyes. But like getting that like, getting like real support, I think to a certain extent it requires, or it's aided and abetted and bolstered by like making a personal connection and doing what I guess you might construe as community outreach, or just engaging with your fans. I definitely
feel that way, and I also feel that for everyone it's a matter of different strata of what you need, because ultimately, like, all of us has a worldview, and we're hoping to get as many people as much on our side as possible. And so, like, but there's three different concerns, really. There's, like, how many people can I reach? How deeply can I reach those people? And also, can I live my life while doing this? You know, not just monetarily, but like do the things I want to do.
Yeah.
In a case like Nate's, I think it's healthy for Nate to not be like, answering comments all the time and shit, because Nate's got a regular ass fucking job he has to do on top of making videos. And I think that freed up of that extra 7 hours every day, maybe you would have more time to talk to individuals and stuff, because probably... I don't know. I think you would probably get bored if all you were doing all day was nothing but working on videos every single day.
I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah. So, but like in your situation, it's like there are other things. And for me, for a long time, it was a combination of first of all, if you're not feeling as though your basic need of like being understood by people and like fitting into society and like having a concrete purpose is met, it's a lot harder to then go and like communicate with others. And for me, I always felt like the outsider, even when I was getting big, because of the fact that like the anime YouTube community never really accepted me, and the fact that like even though I had all these subs, I was always like a weird odd man out. Like I was always the last guy invited or informed kind of thing. But like in the time once I got a relationship, and I feel like May understands me completely. There's no disconnect, even with like some of my closest fans, there's always a disconnect because they know me as the guy who I am portraying myself as on the internet. And even with you guys, there's some level of like macho posturing that has to go on with a bunch of dudes in a group of, but like if I have somebody who,
Hell yeah,
who gets me,
five, bro.
Yeah, but like by having somebody who gets me all the way, it's like that need for acceptance. I've got that, and I don't need to fight for that now. So it's not about like, oh, I have to make sure everybody understand on the internet gets me and accepts me. Now it's more like, all right, well, that's fine. I've been accepted. Now I'm worried about it for their sake. It's no longer about like, I want everyone to understand me because that will make me feel good. Now it's like, I want everybody to understand me so that they get my message clearly. And because my message is ultimately trying to help people to do the things that have worked for me, like I guess it's just less ego-driven. It's less of like, I've been right all along and you all should listen to me. Now it's more of like, hey guys, if you listen to me, this would actually help you with your life and you'd be less depressed. Yeah. So like, let me help you with that.
That's how I feel too, about my content. But on the subject of people understanding you, I take it a couple steps further than what you're saying, because I believe that literally no one will ever fully understand me who is outside of me, and also I myself will never fully understand me either, and I can't predict what my responses are going to be, and so I've just accepted the darkness of my existence, and I've made some degree of peace with it, and it feels pretty okay.
As long as you're at peace with it, that's all that really matters.
I agree.
It reminds me of my brother Victor when he had long-standing depression and thoughts of suicide, but he tried therapy, he tried medication, and none of it worked, and he just kind of came to terms with the idea that he just was depressed and that's who he is. And once he accepted that, it was no longer scary, I guess. And I mean, eventually he got into a loving relationship, and now he's like happy. He's no longer like considering suicide. But like, it was just like once he
what if that crumbles? What if that crumbles for whatever reason? You need a foundation.
Yeah, well, I think it's. I mean, he found the foundation insofar as realizing that like this was just not something to be like. The only thing that makes it scary is being afraid of it.
Sure.
Like,
I think the takeaway here is that he made peace with it. Like before he finding this relationship and becoming less.
Yeah.
Like right. It's that he decided.
It wasn't that he needed the relationship to save him from the depression.
Yeah,
but
it's that he realized that like this is not something curable. So if I'm gonna have to live with it anyways, then let's not get hung up on it. Like, let's not spend all our time wallowing in the fact that I'm depressed and suicidal. Like, I have to just live my life and just, like, let that be a part of my life.
Yeah, I was able, over the course of, like, 5-7 years, just turn all of my mental disorders into my job. Very conveniently how that worked out.
I mean, I've never been diagnosed with clinical depression or anything, but I mean...
Just autism.
Yeah. I've had the same, like, you know, the world really sucks, and even if you're healthy, and even if you don't have mental illnesses per se, like, you know, the world's a dark place, and things are gonna suck sometime, and you just, you know, you gotta, no matter who you are, you gotta make peace with that, and once you do, it's not as bad. Yeah. That's the one way to make it better, is you got to make peace with that it sucks.
Yeah, and I think that's something I touched on this a little bit in my Land of the Lustrous video, that, like, I think one of the biggest problems with people is that we all try to run away from trauma, or, like, view it as something to be healed, and it's like, trauma is going to happen to you. Because, like, if you love anyone, you're gonna watch someone you love die. That's gonna happen to you. And, like, so you...
Unless you're lucky enough to die soon. That's the best case scenario.
I almost said that in the video, but I cut that line out because I thought it would scare too many people. But, yeah, if you live, you will experience trauma. And, like, there is nothing that makes the past not happen. There's nothing, or even if something happens now, like if someone you love dies,
can
you
hurt.
can't undo
but the way I
it,
see it, you can either run from it or learn from it. Hey, Kaze, I like Lion King. I like Lion King. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't hate me.
Is that a Rafiki line?
Yeah, that's Rafiki.
Good old nigga Rafiki.
God damn it! That was my best Rafiki impression. I'll work on it.
Is that the first nigga word that has been said?
Well, nigga Rafiki was my D&D character.
No, since we implemented the nigger jar.
Well,
did we?
That's another one from you, my friend.
That's two from Hippo.
Does it count if it has
I just
hard
referenced
Does it count if it has...
If I referenced the jar, then
but then you could get away with, like, hey, just look at that nigger jar over there. He's going to steal my wallet. I better walk on the other side of the street. You know, that's no good. That's no good.
I can read between the lines. Demerits
all around.
Exactly.
Nme of you are pure.
I had a thing as to say about the comments. Comments that make me confront harsh truths about myself. Make me sad, and it sucks. Such as, that wasn't very funny. That's the sort of comment that really gets me. When I know something wasn't good, and I put it up anyway, and I was like, when they found out, they see it.
It's when you kind of believe it.
Yeah,
it's when someone points out something that you believe to one degree or another.
I always try to believe it, and, like, my reaction is always to try to explain it away, and at that point it becomes kind of a battle of wills of, like...
That's true.
Because a lot of the times I'll, like, someone will criticize me for something, and then I'll, like, justify it, and they'll go, oh, well, I guess it's fine. But then, because I am smart enough to then run the rest of the scenario of, like, how the argument would have gone if they had been strong enough to fight me, then I'll then get depressed, realizing that they were right. They were just too shit to explain it.
I have, like, gone beyond that whole, like, reactionary, like, well, no, it's not true. It's not true. When I see a comment that is, like, tells me the truth, and I'm like, yeah, man, I want to, like, I don't want to respond because I just don't care to involve myself with things like that, but the way they phrase them, like, it's just a normal thing. Like, these comments, whether they're, like, putting me down easy or not, there's this sense of, like, they expect me to, if I read it, to respond in a defensive manner and to have an argument against them, and they're sort of preparing for that in their original sort of statement. And if I don't respond, it, like, in reality, I'm humble, and I'm like, yeah, I agree, but I don't care to say that, but I feel like I have to say that so that I can appear humble, because that's the truth. And they like, if it's just left unresponded to, that makes me look publicly like I disagree.
I find
because
it's
of the fact.
Wait, hang on. Let me give an
example.
I just had a great example of this the other day.
Right.
Confirms everything you're saying, and it was this is on the Pod Dcast. There was a commenter who just responded like, there's been a little controversy lately about a little bit of convenience happening in One Piece. We won't get into it, but someone just said simply something along the lines of, Nate, like, you're fucking wrong, you noodled armed fat faggot. And I thought to myself,
got him.
And I just thought to myself, I guess I could hit the gym a little more. I could eat a little healthier and consume a little more protein. I could do better.
I actually feel
that's your weak spot.
I find it makes me feel better if I just admit to it and cop to it. Like if it's something I agree with, and I just you're
true.
right.
That's true.
Because for me, it helps to put like. It's like if I don't respond, it's because I'm afraid of having to change to confront it.
That's absolutely what it is.
You know what?
I want them to be wrong.
Once I do respond, though, sometimes if I actually say you're right, I will then go change it because I've been forced to confront it.
100% of the internet is people being afraid to say, man, that makes me sad. You're right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What happened? Okay, so recently, I ended up
turning
get a rise out of the comments on my Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 vs. 3 video back on again, thinking, a year after that stupid Undertale video I made happened, I closed the comments on that, and then reopened the comments a year later, and fucking no one commented. So clearly, that's a safe bet. Reopens comments in RCT video. The comments just continue as they always had. It's back to 5 comments a day. I fucking cursed myself with algorithmic eternity. I don't know how. So
are they as shit as ever? Are they?
They're just as bad as ever. It's literally 2015 will never stop fucking happening to this goddamn video.
I mean, that's interesting. I still get. I mean, this makes sense because it's not out. But I'm happy to say that my Final Fantasy VII.
Why does it bother you so much that you keep getting comments?
Well, maybe they're just dumb.
Never stop. Well, it's not.
Are they just
so
the same bad arguments?
No. But why does it bother you that they don't stop?
It's not so much that it's bothering so much that it baffles me that they're still consistently coming out at the same speed. It's really funny to me. But here's what I've decided to do differently with my approach. Because like looking at the video now with a lot more experience. I mean, I haven't even rewatched it. I'm just remembering it now with better critical thought. It's pretty obvious why people walk away with that video with the exact misunderstandings that they do. So, I took one comment that says, by Mr. Star, it's a comment that says, I have never seen a video more deserving of dislikes than this one. I took that comment, pinned that comment, and then replied to it with about 3 or 4 paragraphs of me criticizing the video on my terms. And that is how I think I'm finally winning.
I just feel like you've already lost by taking the effort to do that. This is already a lost battle.
I mean, it's
because you're fighting the tide. You are fighting the tide, my friend, and there's no winning here.
When you're fighting, it's not necessarily a waste of time if you're not changing someone's mind, because you might be changing your own mind.
Even if you change his mind, somebody's going to be right behind him.
By being Okay,
but that's
by being introspective on your own work.
Nate, there is a limited number of people in the world. You realize
billions. You can't change billions. I mean, obviously, we're dealing with smaller numbers.
There's only 300 million in America.
Okay, all right.
I can work through 300 million.
I mean, frankly, I don't want to. So I guess that's where I'm approaching it.
Nate,
that's where I'm coming from.
I have done a thing.
Wait, hang on. What was Gibbs saying?
I have done a thing where I have gone through all of my hypocrite videos because I have troubles knowing where to take new videos and stuff.
I just do I just have troubles. I just have troubles. So.
Don't we all?
Indeed.
But I went through them and I made a little spreadsheet and I put the name of the episode or the video and I did a little review of it, what I thought when I was rewatching it, what problems I found, and what things I actually really liked, and then I gave it a little word score,
it's a healthy exercise.
Good, bad, great, a little iffy, stuff like that. And then I put that on my Discord for people to look at, and I feel like that's basically the same as criticizing, what Davoo did with criticizing. It's not about changing other people's minds. It's just a helpful introspective.
Right.
Way to think about what you have done and how you can grow from it, using people's distaste as a catalyst for
Nate,
that.
There's a difference between what I think you think I want emotionally, psychologically, and what I actually do want, which is not an admittance of wrong from anyone. I mean, that'd be nice. Sometimes when someone gets real heated and keeps responding 5 times over the course of 2 days, I'm thinking it's time for your fucking admittance. But even then, if 2 days go by, they don't say anything. That's what I want. The feeling that I made a good case. That satisfies me automatically, regardless of how they actually respond, right?
Okay.
So, when the video was new, my approach was just ask them to elaborate. Like, what the fuck do you mean by bias? What do you mean by nitpicking? Which was satisfying enough. But now I just say, I have a copy-pasted, please go look at I have a pinned comment, a reply to a pinned comment where I analyze what I think is wrong with this video. Go check that out if you're curious about what's wrong with this video. I even got one person explicitly saying, "No, it wasn't because of the writing structure. It was because you're biased. It's because you're biased." And so then I just went back to the old technique, explain what bias is. Hasn't responded. And that to me is satisfying. Because that's the thing about what people don't get about angry mobs on the internet. They're often right, but in the wrong way. They're wrong for the right reasons. They don't know how to explain themselves.
That's something that Econ is always saying when I talk to him about this stuff, is that even the dumbest, shittiest commenter, they have a point, they're just bad. They're just they don't understand language well enough to explain it. So if you are good at language, then you can kind of work on sussing out what they actually think.
Right.
But unfortunately, with people like that, at the same time, they're too easily swayed. If they're bad at language and you're charismatic and good at language, it's easy enough for you to kind of trick them into not into just agreeing with you without actually addressing what was their original point. Not that that's necessarily bad, because it just means that now they have moved past this whatever they were ignorant about. It just doesn't
mean that you didn't have to
let me respond
with the problems as much.
Let me respond to that too, because here's my hardcore anime analysis response to that. The reason why I think my approach is better is because what I'm doing is I am showing and not telling the audience that I am correct by not responding directly with the long word exercise, but just by living a great life and achieving things and working hard. I'm showing them that I'm right in a general sense of in life, as opposed to in whatever particular argument is going on.
I think that mounting a strategic rebuttal to anything is only something you should do empirically. It's not something that everyone should do. Clearly, your whole brand works itself. It doesn't need to be self-justified. It just works, right? Meanwhile, there's people.
There's definitely a too much. You can definitely respond too much.
Absolutely,
to
but
comments.
I would say a case of someone who really should have done something to respond was the Irate Gamer, who in 2012 made this whole big confessional vlog about how the AVGN was actually ripping him off, not vice versa or something. And I remember reading blog posts rebutting Irate Gamer, saying that no, he's still wrong, Irate Gamer's full of shit. I don't know if Irate Gamer was full of shit, but it was basically him talking about his perspective of this huge fucking YouTube career he had of being this infamous pariah that people didn't that was just en masse disregarded and shamed for being a blatant AVGN ripoff.
Were there lots of those? Okay, whatever, never mind. Go on.
There were a lot of people trying to be AVGN from the beginning. It's just that Irate Gamer was a really shitty one, and he would steal individual jokes. And what really incited the criticism was that this was back when YouTube had to specifically authorially ordain monetization upon people, and would also personally get involved in who gets promoted. AVGN was totally snubbed despite being one of the top 20 channels, and Irate Gamer was air blasted up his ass for no particular reason.
Why?
So no one knows.
Peculiar situation. All right.
It's a good. The algorithms are at least chaotic evil rather than orderly evil. So, the problem with Irate Gamer trying to tell his story is that he told it in 2012 when his YouTube career began in 2006. You're 6 fucking years too late. If there's a real problem out there, if there's a real misunderstanding, and the misunderstanding has some intellectual merit, even if it's being made by morons and troll faggots, do we need a faggot jar? You are not above that stupidity. I think there is an extent to which people are overly egotistical to think that they are so above it all that a valid, or at least seemingly valid, criticism is beneath them.
Hey, I've been on the record. I've been on the record as very much pro comments, and I retain that now. I'm all for reading comments in a way that just doesn't waste your time. That's
what
all.
You need to remember is also you might think, oh, like you're never going to change the opinions of the angry mob battering down your doors.
Not even by responding to individual comments. Yes, maybe. That's my position.
But even if that's the case, what we don't ever give credit to is the 90% population, the actually legitimately silent majority who don't write comments, who
don't need to be responded to,
and read the comments.
Well,
but they can they want to support you. They want to be on your side, right?
You're not just I mean, if it's in a public place like Twitter, you're not just responding to this one person.
And when
you're responding to a sentiment that is shared by a silent group, and this one person is just
not necessarily.
Hold on. This is a really important point.
Fate's representative. Fate's representative. Fate's champion. The champion this idea that the masses are holding.
Ben, you're wrong. You're wrong.
That's not always true. I know that's not always true.
The people who are most inclined to share their opinion are outliers. The people who are most inclined to speak out are people who think that their stance is not normal or that it's not held by the majority.
But how often are they going to be the only one?
Not only will they be the only one, but to look at those people as like a huge group, it's like more likely they are the smallest group, and that's why they feel so incensed to say something.
The point is not that you will sway the majority by responding, but you are definitely influencing more than just.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm actually agreeing with that.
I'm talking about the majority that does like you. I'm talking about the people who are your subscribers, but not the people whose names you know, right? And these are people who want to be on your side, who by default are on your side, but they might be concerned by the criticisms, and they might want you to respond for their sake.
You know what, Davoo? That's true. I agree.
They want to hear you out. They do want to agree with you, but they can't agree with you if you do not make a case for them to agree with.
Well, Davoo, I am all for addressing concerns of like any serious issues that are brought up. If it's like you got a fact wrong, it's like, sorry, whatever. I mean, that but like if someone's like, your content's going to shit, these are my arguments why, and also I hate you, then like there is things of value in there to be addressed in some way. Now, is the right way to directly respond with comment? I could see that. Is the right way to, I don't know, write a blog post? Maybe. Or possibly is the right way to just take that advisement on board and try to adjust your content to address that issue.
What's funny
I don't know.
That I know you were just like grab bagging for like an extreme example. Yeah. That I would say that's an example that's so extreme that it doesn't really need to be said, because it's just like if someone thinks this content is all shit, oh well.
It could be far more specific. It could be a way better example.
I think you need to have like stratification of your level of responses, where like again, because of the fact that we're measuring these different factors, like your own time, if you
that's a big one for me.
If I read a comment that is in any way reasonable, then I'm fairly confident I can reach this person without too much effort. If I read a comment that's totally unreasonable, it depends on how dumb the person seems. Because if they seem really dumb, but like in a kind of innocent way, then I'll be like, I bet I can convert this person, because they're just dumb and they'll just listen to me because I sound smart. If it's somebody who's like malicious and like the only people who I block on Twitter are the ones who just come at me like, fuck you, you're a pedophile. And I'm like, I could argue with these people about like lolly or whatever, but like they obviously don't care. They obviously do not care about arguing. They are just determined towards hatred. And like those are the only people where I look at them and I'm like, this will not, like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this via social media. Maybe if I met this person face to face and talked to them, there's a chance. But like if this person is just someone who views the internet as a place to spew bile at people with no consequence, then it's better to just excise them, because eventually everyone will excise them. Like people who are like that, people who are just like, who are just toxic, like, the thing is, everyone's on the internet for a sense of community. People come to the internet because they feel that they don't fit in enough with the people around them immediately in their personal life, so they need to find a group. They need to find a tribe, and they come on the internet to do that. But the thing is, most people, your tribe is either it probably has to directly interact with other tribes on the internet, and that's where all this conflict comes from. But I'm glad for that. I'm glad that all these people are being challenged and constantly being asked to reassess their opinions. But if you approach it like sociopathically, if you're somebody who comes in and you are not interested in conversation, you're not interested in, like, you know, in forming an argument, if you're just trying to spew bile, eventually you will piss off everyone. Like, one by one, people who are on your side will eventually be like, fuck, man, like, you're really gonna go there, you know, and eventually you'll slowly be cut from everybody.
I agree.
And so, so I think I think there is a power in just, like, blocking people and just being like, fuck you, go in the corner and think about what you've done, and eventually, like, when enough people block that person, they have to finally at some point ask, hey, am I a piece of shit?
I'm a piece of shit.
Can't, there's no responsibility. There's no responsibility to engage with everyone. And some people are definitely not worth engaging with. And there's no shame in deciding this person's not worth my time. And there's nothing, I don't think there's anything like, I don't think you should feel bad about blocking anyone.
It's interesting because,
like, if you don't want to engage with someone, you don't have to.
The kind of thing you're talking about was slightly different what I was going to say, which is like just non-malicious people, but just people whose opinion of you is that you're shit, right? And no matter what, like, lead-in or rationales they have for why you're shit, whoever you are, the thing is, if they just think outright your videos are bad and you think your videos aren't bad, then it may not necessarily be worth talking to them or trying to change their mind, because, like, there's a clearly fundamental difference in opinion here, right? So
I mean, it kind of depends on if there's somebody who wants to like your stuff or not, because, like, the fact that they take the time to comment suggests that, like most people who just don't like something aren't gonna go out of their way to say so. So, like, if they're going out of their way to make their stance apparent, either they're a huge douchebag or there's more to it than that. Like, that dude, Mr. Cynical, who came on Digibro versus Everybody, and, like, both times his argument was basically, like, you're not doing the type of content I want you to do. But the dude's been watching me for, like, 5 fucking years, so that's clearly not entirely true. It's just that, like...
I mean, couldn't he have just liked your early stuff and just obviously he's still somewhat engaged?
No, he comments on, like, every video I make. It has done so forever.
Isn't it possible that there is a sense of dissatisfaction despite still being heavily engaged?
Oh, no, there's definitely a sense of dissatisfaction. It's just that, like, to boil it down to, like, we just are looking for something different out of videos, like... I don't know if it's that simple so much as it's that we are both understanding what the videos are, or, like, what the goal of them is differently, and that could potentially be reconciled. Like,
maybe.
I have not given up on this guy changing his stance or me changing my stance. And, like, for what it's worth, like, his idea that, like, my videos were too personal, like, my response was like, well, in my opinion, all criticism is inherently extremely personal. Like, because you can't, you're not writing it from someone else's perspective, you're writing it from your perspective, and that's always going to be affecting it. So, like, whatever's unique about you is the thing that you should fixate on. But at the same time, I have found ways that I can write about shows that are extremely personal but aren't, like, flag waving about it, you know? And, like, I think that's really what he means, is, like, not so much that he wants me to divorce myself from the analysis, but that, like, to remove the ego from the analysis.
I mean,
to remove
frankly,
it from, you know,
something like my Gurren Lagann review is just like that is laden 100% like with my personality and the why, like, I've interpreted things this way. But then, like, I get away with that, and nobody accuses me of ego because I just slip in the, like, me relevant thing at the very end. Like, that's just the one little. It's just a little, and I mean, and that, you know, I can get away with that. But, like, on the subject of like how we like, personal, like, what I wanted to say about that was I think we have a slightly different just worldview as to, like, how to change people, or if people can change. I think I do think that I will be less successful. I have a little bit less faith in the earnestness of commenters and like their willingness to change. And also I think it is harder for people to change with some of this stuff. But like I just view it that
I'm
like
not necessarily concerned with their willingness to change. I will force them to change.
Okay.
Because if you change the world around people, they have to change to fit into that world.
That's true, but like I mean, so we're kind of on the same page here. But like I see it that just like I will just front load myself with like the kind of like positive vibe that I want them to have with me initially, and maybe that makes me more like milquetoast or less provocative or whatever. But like I that like Ben was saying before, like I don't want people to walk away from my content, and I don't really think about this a lot. It kind of just happens, but I don't want them to walk away with even really much of a chance of like a bad impression that I then have to correct later. So like, to at least some degree, I think about like how what I say will be interpreted. And so like I think like my first impression is the best chance to like hit these people and make them, not think that I'm totally retarded. So, I guess that's just where I see the biggest opportunity.
Like I said before, I do think that your content is just a lot clearer than mine about like what your intentions are, who you are, what you want the audience to take away. Like that's all very evident. And with me, there's always been an unsureness even within myself about what my content is, why it exists, or what I want people to take away from it. So like that's why I haven't been able to like communicate as clearly as you have, but I hope to fix that.
Sure. I mean, I'm not trying to suck my own dick or anything. I'm just, just pointing out. I think the difference of worldview that I think you agree with, at least to a degree.
Well, we're 2 hours into this. Should we get into...
I think it's time. I think it's time to switch gears a little bit.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, let's... guys, we got a couple more PCP themes on deck for our listening pleasure.
Is this the...
dog.
No, we have... Next week will be the last time we listen.
Actually, let me bring this up. So I'm looking at the dates. We said that the 31st... is like the last day that people can submit. We've got today's recording, the 29th recording, and then there's 2 days. I think technically speaking, what we should do is say that the 5th is the last day we listen to anything, but it's only going to be submissions that were in on the 31st or earlier. Sound good? Sound fair?
Yeah.
Reasonable?
Yeah, okay.
So there'll be 2 more segments after this one, though they'll probably be shorter and shorter. Okay, so here we go. First one.
So if you're listening to this is probably your last chance.
You've got like 2 days if you're listening to this to get it in or something. Let me double check. Yeah. No, you got 1, 2, 3. You got 4 days. You got 4 days to get it in if you're listening to this right now.
You got 2 days to get it in.
You said it, buddy.
I'm sorry.
So, anyway, here's our first PCP theme of the day. This is from Oblivion Fall, who comments, this is the first out of 2 PCP themes I'm submitting to the Procrastinators. His second more serious entry, which is going to be called PCP Dream Theme, is currently in production and will feature real musicians. ETA in 1 week, he says.
I have to
real
say,
musicians, unlike all these fucking hacks that have been submitting so
by
far.
the way,
I assume he means live musicians.
The name Oblivion Fall makes me think of what your name is trying to be. You should just take it all the way and just call it Moroblivi Fallrim.
Probably. He has a dragon after. Also, his at is at Oblivion.
I mean, he probably only likes those 2 games that he's referencing.
Who the fuck ever only likes 2 and 4? That's like the most weirdly specific Elder Scrolls opinion I've ever heard.
All right, but let's get to it. This song is... where'd it go? It is called... this is the PCP Meme Theme. This is the Meme Theme.
Meme Theme.
A.k.a. Horse Tranquilizer. Okay,
boy.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, bam.
Oh, God. That is sharp.
It is yellow.
Anime is a Japanese colloquialism
I think this is Dragon
I love those tits so much. Little girls getting fucked. The women have my sickness for the forces of good.
Oh, there it
exactly
is.
Is Minecraft helping us make Starfleet real?
Spoiler! It's because he's gay, but I'm pretty sure I didn't come my first time. Oh no, where's my face?
Whoa.
I don't remember that I didn't come my first time.
We are in level 3 consciousness at least. That's a number.
Damn!
Furry
sensation. Ah, cute. The sensation of what a diaper feels like. Maybe it's a really good feeling. I don't fucking know. Getting
Amazing.
Thinking,
Whoa.
oh my god, how would I feel?
Along with some other shitty podcasts that we're gonna kill someday, I'm just gonna sit here and have fun, guys. It's like, no, get your shit back in the office and fix all the things that suck balls right now.
The music in that was actually fucking awesome.
No, there's more.
Oh.
What?
Oh, I think it was just you crying at the end, Ben.
Weird. That creeped me out a little bit.
Aside from, I felt like if you took out the quotes and the random sharp spikes of...
It was a meme theme. It was a meme theme, by the way.
Yeah, but it was awesome otherwise,
I mean, it was
like,
awesome.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think it's awesome.
It was like a demon version of, like, Dragon Force.
That was a ripoff of Through the Fire and the
Flame,
so that should be
Oh,
noted.
was it?
the one.
Yeah.
I think that just needs to be a video. Someone just needs to make a video of
that
video.
song. That video is this video right now. And
I
now
guess,
it exists.
we animated somebody. Animate the whole thing.
I'm a little disappointed with my quotes. I guess I gotta work on
I like the
being
one,
more interesting.
I don't remember the line where you said, I'm pretty sure I didn't come my first time. But that's
weird. That's a weird
virginity.
That's a weird. Yeah. I'm sure it's from the virginity because that's a strange line to pick for
It's
me.
pretty good.
It was funny.
I appreciate the going back through the episodes to get
he clearly
all these
worked
quotes.
hard on this one. That's to be saluted for sure. Now, and remember this, guys. This is one of two, and this was his meme version. What is his real submission going to be like? Dude,
hopefully,
I mean, I don't know.
without all
I don't
the
know.
memes.
Maybe.
I don't know if there's any topping this. I don't know if there's any topping this
like,
one. I mean, I really like this.
I don't even hate that as a real pick. Possibly that was really good.
I mean, I would only really want the first 10 seconds.
for sure,
the actual
for sure.
intro.
But imagine if someone animated a Procrastinators opening.
I think
with
it's
this.
too. I think it's a little too intense to use as the opening because, if someone clicks on this podcast who's never heard of it, it's just going to open with
all right.
blast beats, That's
fair. That's fair. I mean, man, that was a great fucking. We should use that for something. We got to use all of these for something. We should literally put together an album at the end of the creme de la creme.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
it's a great idea.
We should put together an album. And then we can get the guy who did the Gorillaz animations.
and
Jack
then
Black.
we will sell the album and reap all the profits and pay nothing to the artist.
They did sign away their contract.
Pay them an exposure.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do.
UV exposure.
Well, that was fucking great. All right, Oblivion Fault, you're killing it, dude. I'm super excited to see the next one. Get that in, boy.
Just to be clear, I love that.
I love
that.
Awesome.
Also, I'm eating beef. I'm eating Slim Jims.
Well, there you are, ladies and gentlemen. Next up is what's his Twitter thing? This is from God damn it, Ken what the fuck at Ken Crayley. Ken Crayley.
Crayley. This dude's an actual musician.
Oh shit, really?
Unlike all these other hacks that have been submitting.
This guy sent me an album he made once. So,
wait a minute. Okay, all right. Let me read his thing here. He says, here's a short rock instrumental called Explosion 5000 that my band Casinos made a while back that we never end up expanding into a full song. I thought it might be theme-worthy. Maybe you'll dig it. Well, I mean, let's find out. This is Explosion 5000 by the Casinos. Here we go.
It sounds like an 80s anime theme. I already like it.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting to hear a Japanese band singing about Gundams.
Pretty much. Ooh, well, that was really good sounding. I mean,
I like that it's it's short and punchy.
Yeah, for sure.
It's very triumphant. I feel like it's almost too hopeful for this.
I'm with you. I suppose that I am approaching the theme concept from the same way I did with the Mia Matha theme, which is use a short segment for opening of the things. But I do want there to be a big epic version that can be played during our anime final battle. That's how I'm thinking about it.
Sure.
I mean, I would assume that there is more to that song, that maybe he just said
he said that this is just they made just this little instrumental that they never expanded into a full song, so I guess this is what there is. I mean, anyway, it was great. It was really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as
I mean, I can't compliment it too much. It doesn't feel like it was actually made for the show.
It doesn't. It doesn't feel like it was written for the PCP because it was. Which is, but
indeed. All right, next one here.
It's a good... like, if I ever made a show that I felt I needed an intro with that tone for it would be fine for that. Like,
yeah,
you know.
like if I was doing like a Conan Barbarian review show, like I'd use something like that. That'd be dope. All right,
just send that to Razor Fist. Let that be his new intro.
Oh yeah, he'd be down for that.
Sounds kind of like it.
All right, here's @0alias394 submits. It's called Love, Stuff, and Each Other. PCP theme attempt number 1. Okay, here we go.
Cool.
Go.
Yeah!
Oh man.
Holy shit.
Yeah, all right. Ooh.
I like this. It's got a melody.
Yeah, it does. I really like melody. Ooh.
You know what would make this great, but also just an Anamanaguchi song would be if they did the Anamanaguchi like blast beat drums in there.
I love that.
I really like
good.
that one. Yeah.
I really liked the beginning when it just sounded like a fucking acid trip. That was dope.
I liked the beginning. It was interesting, but then when the actual like tune came in,
yeah,
it was just great.
I was way into that melody.
Yeah, and I think it's not a bad fit tonally. Either.
That would be like, I'm imagining like quotes being laid over the top of that, or like somebody speaking over the top of that. That would be like a good.
I don't like the idea of using quotes from the show so much, but like,
well,
someone speaking over it to like explain the basic concept.
I want
of the
someone.
PCP.
Welcome to the Pro
I want to not
podcast.
one of us
We do
person
this.
being like, I don't know. In the mists of time, there was a podcast where a bunch of gay homo boys got together.
Sleepycast did it.
And so
I would like to point out that I have seen some sentiment. I have seen some sentiment floating around that my musical intro to Steven Universe Episode 2 was the best PCP intro. And I agree.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was.
That was very good.
Was it
yes.
like an original? I haven't seen this.
Yeah.
Well, I sang over a piece from the Ruby Rider song, but I changed the lyrics.
Yeah,
I just made like 2 lines. It's like 10
it added a lot of charm, and I really liked it. It was really good.
I just was humming that song in my head, and I thought about the PCP, and then much like Christian Weston Chandler, thinking about Sonic and Pokemon and wanting to make an album cover with both of them, decided to combine the two together.
I just
into
thought of
one
the perfect melody to represent the PCP.
What's that?
All right, it's gonna go like dun 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 dun. See, you're all singing along to it immediately. It's like a psychic connection. We all know.
Yeah, we all know. That's what it's got to be.
Do we have any more?
Yeah, we've got one more over here from... Oh, actually, 2 more. All right, this one's from Sasuke Zero Pro, and it's called PCP Theme Boy. Wait, hang on. Fucking go over here and... Go. Ooh, yeah. Old school.
What is this? You're supposed to be working right now.
I'm sorry, darling. I'm listening to the PCP right now.
Whoa!
It's so addicting.
Yeah!
Whoa! Hell yeah!
This gets my vote for that intro bit. I don't even care if we keep the guitar part.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Oh my god!
I really
love
like
it.
that.
Guys, click on the Robo-Nazi Techno State chat and look at the album art cover for this. I mean, obviously they just did a little thing here, but I love the aesthetic of like husband comes home, but actually wait, no, the wife is apparently the breadwinner here, and it's a stay-at-home dad, and she came
they're
home.
British. They're British pounds.
She did not pick up the groceries because she was distracted listening to the PCP. Oh man,
this one is by far my favorite. I want it on record. This is the best one. I said so on Twitter.
Well, you got the Jess vote.
I don't know if I get a vote, but this one is my favorite.
This one is, I think, for once, oh my god, a great weight has been lifted, and suddenly, for the first time in my young life, I feel like I finally could actually see this at the beginning of a fucking PCP episode.
Yeah,
I feel you, dog.
This is the first one, and I mean, it uses the existing
This is the first
theme
one that
just
I
remixed to sound like an intro.
Yeah.
This is the first one that I unambiguously feel like this would just be great.
And who else would bring it to us but Sasuke Uchiha himself? You did it! You did it, boy!
The competition is over. Okay, goodbye.
Later, dude. Well, I mean, that was fucking awesome, but we gotta give, I guess we'll give the next guy a fair shake. Okay, here he comes. Here he comes. Oh, God. This is Eric C. Bass. At Eric C. Bass with Crazy X. This is apparently his third submission. Oh, I recognize this guy. Okay, yeah, let's play this. And there it goes.
Ooh, I like this hard thriving beat.
It's good. Bass. Good.
Walking down the street with the PCP on my back.
Yeah, I mean, sick. And then we like fade out now.
I want to hear like a new wave vocals on this. Whoa.
This is his third version of this.
I still like this.
Yeah.
He got the
I mean, yeah.
That's pretty good.
That was the best version of that, for sure.
We had yeah, this is, I'm sorry, we had a version of this one before.
Yes, we did. Like 2 versions. This is
I mean, I don't remember them well enough to be able to say which version I like the best, but, you know, I still like it.
I would like that song with some, like Interpol-style vocals, you know? Like some, I went to the store and I was procrastinating, like that kind of performance,
yeah. I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, I liked it. I did. I mean, we're starting to get a bunch of like good things in here.
That's a good tune, and it's a good.
Yeah, we got.
Tune.
I just remembered, Digi. You said you were gonna enter.
Yeah.
Into the contest.
I sure did say that.
Well, you got till the 31st, buddy. All right. Well, that's all the submissions for today.
I don't need to enter anymore because I actually am satisfied enough with an entry at this point.
Yeah, there you go.
Even a couple of options, but I mean, you know.
Just think about that aesthetic. You got the stay-at-home dad is just, he's like, oh, when's honey getting, I'm so sad and lonely. She came home, like, shit-faced out of her mind, did not get the groceries, did not pick up the kids from daycare because she was listening to the goddamn PCP. It blasted her mind. It blitzed her chakras. She didn't have time to think about other shit. I love this aesthetic. I'm way into it. I'm way into that. Hell yeah.
There's no arguing.
There's like lore to this one. There's lore to this one.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
It's strong. You know, it's strong.
It is really strong.
It's a strong contender.
Oblivion, buddy. You got your real submission. You got a serious contender here to fight with. And I'm sure we're forgetting like currently some like the old dope ones that we said were like, this is the best one. I got to go through all of them and listen to them.
All those suck now. Fuck you guys.
I'm gonna put together like a playlist of like the best ones and listen to for a while to figure out which is actually the best.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to re-listen.
You can have a dance party.
Good idea.
I definitely want to re-listen before I cast my vote.
So, I mean, okay, so we're done with that shit. All we got left is our little question thing. We got to throw a bone to the old patrons and the Twitter
I got
boys.
one right now.
All right.
Cicero asks, and I'd be shocked if we've never answered this before, but I don't remember if we did. How do you all deal with writer's block or other blocks when trying to be creative? For me, switch mediums. Like, I've...
switch genders. That's what I do.
Like, if I can't think of any YouTube videos, I will then go and work on like a song or write something or just do something else creative because, like, there's no sense beating your head against the wall. Like, if you don't have an idea, you don't have an idea. So, like, it's time to do something else. And I mean, granted, you could just as easily go, do something in your... like something that's just totally unrelated to creativity, but for me it's just like, I'm proficient in multiple fields, so I just go and do a different thing.
My answer is that there is no simple answer, and I think this is something I've said on this podcast before. There's lots of competent artists out there, and then there's lots of competent artists out there whose job it is to do that art. And I think that my stance is that the real dividing line between a professional artist and just someone who does art sometimes because it's fun, the amateur, is their ability to stay motivated and inspired. Because, like, you can be like a pro artist in any medium and be really successful, but a lot of people in the peanut gallery could think, a lot of people could do that. A lot of people with the same level of skill. Basically what I'm saying is that anyone with a minor amount of skill can make something really great sometimes when the inspiration happens to strike. And I think that is what artists who get paid really get paid for, is to learn. It's like 50% of the job is learning how to control your own inspiration, right? So I don't think there's anything simple that will work in all purposes. And I think that as the years go on, I get more and more attuned to how to modulate inspiration. And
you just reminded me what the most common advice that writers give is read. I mean, for me, if I consume almost anything and I'm thinking about it at all, I'm probably going to get some kind of idea, especially if it's something good. And I mean, and I don't just mean that in terms of if I watch enough anime, I'll find something to analyze. If I watch enough anime, I might see an idea that sparks something within me, or if I go read a book that is from a favorite author and I try to imitate a technique of theirs, there's just constantly have your eyes open, basically.
I would say if you go out of your way to hone the skill of inspiration and motivation modulation, it can get pretty easy to control. Basically, before this podcast started, I was looking at my empty Photoshop document thinking, okay, I need to draw a level right now. Not feeling it, and I knew that if I go wash dishes while specifically listening to Mr. B-Tongue's video about the Great Infinity Engine do-over, I know for a fact that I will walk back to this screen totally motivated to do it. And I was right.
I would say that a lot of the time, the way I get through a problem, the reason I don't work is because I'm not sure what to do next. It's not usually because I have no ideas. It's I have my idea, but I'm how do I do that? Usually with drawing or with a video edit, how do I convey that? How do I write this next part of the script? And the best way to get through that is to ask the very basic of questions. Get to the very base root of what you're trying to do and the reasons why it's not working. But it's hard to do that normally, so I like to take a long shower and just okay, what am I trying to do right now? Why am I not doing it? Is it because I just want to watch more Tim and Eric? Probably. Yeah. Okay, stop doing that.
We didn't talk enough about Tim and Eric, God damn it! All right, next time.
We didn't.
Next time.
we talk about Tim and Eric every day.
I wish.
But
there's actually a lot of
long
good
showers and
questions
just asking yourself simple questions, methodically going through until you're okay, I think I know the solution to my problem, and it's to go, either research something or look into something or just you get inspiration maybe because your mind was muddled with other things, and if you ask the questions, you'll get to something. You'll have a direction when you're out of the shower.
You can often just logic your way through it. What texture do I put on these walls? Well, hold on. What was the last wall? Well, the last wall was polka dots, and the wall before that was stripes. So I guess zigzag.
A lot of it, I think, is just a lack of a loss of focus, and when you really focus back, you can.
I'm glad.
Sometimes it takes you can go to the very, logic your way into a really very specific, very core thing. Why do I want a texture on the wall?
Sure.
Sure. What is the purpose? What is the purpose of drawing it like this? What's the purpose of this paragraph? Do I even need it? And if I do need it, then I have a better understanding of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're talking about writer's block, because I know that in one sense it's not real.
Kind of.
But at the same time, it's very real in another sense. And in that fake sense, I am dealing with it right now. With regards to a very specific thing, I got asked to write... this is kind of interesting, so I'll say it. I got asked to write a comic for the official Zone Tan comedy strip thing, and it's hard.
Did they like give you specific parameters or like what?
Mary. This was Merriweather who invited me to do this, and he showed me like the first strip, and which has a totally different format than the one I was asked to write, so it's not much help. And then he showed me the script for the second strip, which also has a totally different format.
Oh. Like, well, sounds like you can do whatever
the fuck you want. It's supposed to be a comedy, but I don't know. I don't. I don't get it. I feel like
maybe you need to talk to them more and kind of hash it out.
The project.
Yeah.
Maybe I do.
Sounds like
it.
It's okay to ask questions. If the only like way to understand it is to ask them what the deal is, then
I would say it
do.
would be unreasonable of them to ask you to do something and then for you not allow you to ask for further clarification.
I don't think there's any more information to be gained. Like, I don't think there's more that they could show me.
If the first two are so fundamentally different, does it not stand to reason you could just do what you want?
But what do I want? What do I want, Digi?
Zone 10 getting fucked or something.
Think of a funny joke and then write a comic about that joke.
I never thought about it like that before.
That's something I've been like developing around. Okay, in the last several months. Well, ever since reading Homestuck. Okay, people have this idea, this writing principle called the rule of cool, which is in a lot of dumb action movies. Is it like, does it always work logically? No, but if it's cool, then yes, it does work logically because the rules of this universe is what is cool. And from reading Homestuck, I learned the rule of fool, which is that if you can make a joke out of it, it works. Any problem you have, if you can...
That's just the rule of funny.
Yeah.
There's already a word.
Is that well, I hereby recall it the rule of fool.
As a former hardcore troper, as a former hardcore troper, I'll tell you that yes, there's a rule of funny.
This troper would like to add that there are actually many variations of the term the rule of funny.
By the way, I just remembered another way I deal with writer's block. This one doesn't make as much sense to most people, but it somehow always works for me, which is I'll go on Twitter and just ask something like, what should I make a video about? And then I'll get like 100 responses. None of them will be good at all, but like the frustration I feel towards that fact will inspire me to come up with something.
It reminds you why you're the one with the YouTube job.
Yeah, I do it probably like once every month or two, and it always works.
Hey, here's a quick tip just on the thing. What Gibbs said about breaking down the problem if you've got writer's block and busting through it by breaking down the components and figuring out exactly what you're trying to do. That helps. For me, I get stuck more at the like, I know what I got to do. I just like, oh God, I have to do it now. And the way I fix that is I do what Gibbs said, break it down to the smallest bits. I do step one, whatever it is. I'm just like, I'll just do step one. Once I'm doing step one, way easier to like roll from there.
Rolling is by far the most important step.
I will say, definitely, opening the program is never step one. Do not trick yourself into thinking that is step one, because you will just have the program open all day, and then you will not do anything.
I don't know, opening the program tends to work for me, although I tend to just not close my programs.
I mean, sometimes it works, but like I have fallen into the trap of thinking that opening the program is enough.
How many times you guys open the program, you've got it open, and you're looking at it, you haven't touched it, and you're like, well, I've been doing this for hours and nothing's changed. What the hell,
for me, man? Once I put pen to paper, that is step one, and then I'm good. Actually,
fair enough.
For me, when I lay in the first clip, usually I'm shocked by how much how much I've already done.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you have a 5-minute video and like you lay in the first clip and it's 10 seconds and you're like, oh, that's already like
that's like 10% of the video or whatever it is, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And you see it in
1/6 of 1/5, so that's 1/30th of the video,
which is not so bad, because that means like if it only took me like 5 seconds to lay this clip in, then that just means, you know, what's 30 times 5?
No one knows. We speculate to this day.
But like, and I also edit like preposterously fast. So for me, it's like as soon as I've done, like, sometimes I'll say something like, okay, I just need to do like the first 2 minutes within this hour, and then I'll do those first 2 minutes in like 20 minutes. And I'll
that's
be like,
the way to do it.
Well, now I can edit the rest of this in no
I
time.
totally edit by percentages. Like my encouragement level, my heart meter is definitely keeps up with, like, I go by, like, I do the zoom out, and I say, okay, I've edited this much of the total audio that's laid out. That's 20% done. I got 5% done just now. I'm on track. There's another 10%. That's, it really helps me, like, see that I'm making progress, as I'm doing right now.
Me doing YouTube and while also balancing another job at the same time, I pushed my bed, which doesn't have a frame, so it stands up about 2 feet, into my desk, fell asleep, and now the technique is that beginning to work on the next video is literally the first thing I do when I wake up.
That's really interesting.
That works so well for me. That is so great, and such a great feeling when you do it, when you follow through with it.
Hold on, I don't think that's healthy. You should only do that when you're like
no,
it
doesn't matter.
Davoo,
it doesn't matter what's healthy.
Super sense, and I got to talk about it because while May's mom was staying at our house for a while, when she was like to help her like acclimate back to being human. And being in society.
Right.
She kept talking about this speech, the Make Your Bed speech. Have you guys heard of this?
I have not.
Oh, is that a Jordan Peterson thing?
No.
That
no,
thing?
it's
okay.
old
that's
and
clean
super
your room.
famous.
Oh, sorry, my mistake.
It's a super famous speech that was given at a college by I think like a military guy or something. But the premise of it is that if you make your bed first thing in the morning, then you will already have this sense of having done something that day.
Yes.
And not only that, but like if you were to go out and have like a bad day, you'll come home and you'll see your made bed and be like, yeah, I did that. And like it's, so I think that Davoo, as someone who doesn't give a fuck about making your bed, probably at the very least you're doing the same principle. You're getting the ball rolling so early that like throughout the entire day you'll always know I already did something.
That's exactly why I need to get myself into a place in life.
I always make a point to do something satisfying as soon as possible. I was just saying, specifically rolling your bed up to the monitor is like an unhealthy practice because it's literally putting your bed to your screen.
I'm sure this applies to everyone, but artists specifically always say like, you got to do like you got to do warm up sketches. You just spend like a couple minutes, you do warm-up sketches, and then you start drawing the real shit. That's how you do it. You do warm-up sketches, and then like I've done something today, and I'm ready to go.
That's fine and all, but
what May and I have been doing is like we've been waking up and just immediately going to the gym. Like
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Do not collect $200. Just straight to the gym. And the reason is like not only do you have that sense of accomplishment, but like when you hit the gym so early that you forget about it. Like
your whole day is a blessed day. It is a blessed day when you've done that.
It's crazy, and you've already got your blood moving. You're already like circulated. It's easier to eat healthy, because you get home and you want to just smack down some protein. And like like if you go to the gym, I've discovered this the hard way. If you go to the gym first thing in the morning, and then the first thing you consume is Mountain Dew, it will feel like poison. Like it hurts to have consumed because your body is so desperate for nutrients after that workout that it's like you have to put something good in there or else it's gonna hurt. So like it's trained me to be in a mindset of just like living healthier and doing more every day.
I've been seriously considering
I've always loved like doing an early morning walk even before Pokemon Go. If you can believe that.
People walk before Pokemon
Go?
Go?
I would get up and I would go with the purpose of like seeing the sun in a way in casting shadows in a way that I don't usually see. And it's like that's cool. And then I come home and I'm like hungry the whole time. I'm really hungry, and then that motivates me to cook my own breakfast because no one else is up, and I need a big something or other. So like it's two things. It's like I get some exercise in, and I also make my own breakfast, and it feels great.
Yeah.
Do we want to do how much longer do we want to go? My eyes are starting to really hurt.
Fair enough. I've got one question, the pity question over on the Twitter here. That won't take long. This is from at Lex Peridot.
I just gotta say, this is such a shame because we actually have like a decent handful of good questions this time, but it's like the show that ran so long that
it's true.
I don't even want to bother with them. But maybe we'll get to some of these next week or something.
I mean, they're all still there.
If you had a good question, restate it next time.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So at Lex Peridot asks, was there a defining moment, Nate, when you turned into the Chad you are today? And for the rest, when would you say you turned into the beta virgins you are now?
Wow. Oh, man. I'm sensing a bias.
I'll tell you this. There was no moment. I was born this way, perfect, walking. I fucked the bitch on my way out the vagina, and I'm fucking one going back, a.k.a. the vagina of the earth, which is my grave. Yes, that's what I have to say.
I got lost in the phrasing there.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
How am I supposed to answer this question?
Any answer you give
What was the question?
When did you
become the beta virgin you are now, Gib? Please comment.
It was 40 years ago today. I remember it like it was.
I signed that illicit contract with the devil. Damn it! I got this lustrous mane of hair, but damn it, a perma virgin for life.
I signed the beta thing, and then VHS won in the end. I felt like
yeah, same. TBH. I mean, I've got. I didn't even look at any of the questions. So, should we just wrap it up here?
Hey, I see a question. Okay. Blue Nimbus asks, "Can we get another speedrun race?" And the answer is, yeah. We have had one that we were gonna do for a while, but we all fell off the wagon, and I'm still interested in doing it.
Which one?
So I'm.
Let's
I'm
not
not
spoil
say
it, but we'll talk about it.
I won't spoil what it is, so I know what you're talking about.
Excuse me.
It is. I mean, I think it's in.
I just put it in the main chat. Oh,
you mean we're gonna play? No, I'm not gonna. Actually, that would make sense. Undertale would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that long to speedrun.
It would be doable.
Well, we don't have to do the whole game.
You don't have to do
that there are things in that game that it would make sense to try to race to do first.
Snail race. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right.
It would.
Who can
Maybe.
seduce Toriel
But that's not
first?
it. Or is it?
Well, the point is we do want to do more.
This was like a couple months ago. Right. It got brought up. The next one got brought up, and we all agreed that
a year ago. I feel like
I
suggested this game.
I mean, when was the Kirby race?
When you first suggested it, but like it was. Yeah, shortly after a little after the Kirby race, maybe a month after the Kirby race, we were like, guys, what race are we going to do? And then this one came up, and we all agreed on it, and then none of us followed up on it.
I distinctly said I was too busy, so I was just put myself out of that.
The Kirby race was literally a year ago.
There you go. There you go.
So it has been a year.
I mean, I'm counting them.
They are difficult to organize because rules and such.
It takes work, yeah.
Nate, and it's like, do you run the game a million times and then submit your best time, or do we do it the first time?
That's not even a question.
I know, but like, how long should there be? Like, and how it's not as simple because people have different approaches.
It's true.
To
I mean,
I would prefer it to be everyone on a level playing field, i.e., just do it like snap your fingers.
It'd be like this though. Someone should just say, and I'll say it right now. Here's what it should be. This game, someone should assign some reasonable point that is like the end goal, like what you have to do, and just say what you want the rules to be, and you want it to be such that you are allowed to do it like 5 times only, and you can like get better, and then that's it.
Dark Souls 3, who can beat the dancer first?
Oh man, that wouldn't take that long.
I don't want to get Dark Souls 3. I'm done with Souls.
Own video games. Embarrassing. All right, well, whatever. The point is that we want to do more. We'll talk.
I just wanted to ask that question to reignite that extinguished spark of speedrun races, because I really like them, and I want us to do that one.
Yeah.
Finally.
The only reason I haven't been gung ho is because of the autistic amount of time. I mean, I worked really hard on the Dark Souls and the
I just know that I suck
one.
at this particular game, and that it will be hard as shit.
I suck at this game too. This is not my kind of game, but
It'd be fun though, right?
I can probably. I think it would be fun, and I think with effort,
think about it this way. Whatever game it is, I've been thinking about it this way. Like, my computer now can handle it, so that's a plus. And to do a speed run of any game and to figure out what the things you need to do, you will when you play a game for the first time, you everything you're doing is blind and you have no fucking idea what you're doing. To play a speed run is you learn the mechanics inside and out.
You have to admit, you know
it's
everything.
Totally different.
You know everything.
Yeah. So I mean
this
the reason I don't like necessarily to do.
That's not bad. I would do Super Meat Boy.
To do a race when I don't know the game and I have to play it over and over and learn everything. It's I'm not as invested,
same.
and therefore I am at a disadvantage against
That's
you.
That's why Dark
and Ben,
Souls was perfect.
So I don't even want to try.
Or I mean, this game has a certain member who is particularly a bit of an expert on the subject. So I got to say that does have a somewhat diminishing spark in me for I could try really hard.
Yeah, but that person will also put less effort into practice than inevitably.
Possibly true.
It's not it doesn't matter if you're good at this game because speedrunning is a totally different.
I guess you're right.
You're right. I don't see that as being an issue. At all.
Whatever. Let's talk more about it. I want to kind of get into specifics just for fun, but whatever.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're done.
So that's that.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to this
we made it. We made it to the end.
Wait, hang on. We got to do patreon.com/theprocrastinators.
Right.
$1. You're in the chat. $5. Bonus episodes. That's what's up, and you are fucked. Thanks for listening to the episodes. We'll see you at TP Crastinators on Twitter. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to